That's sus.
Hmm.
I wish I brought my clip-on microphone with me from home, but I don't have it. So I have to use the really shoddy microphone inside of my webcam to not destroy audio quality on the headphones. Because it's Bluetooth.
Yo. Hmm. 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 I don't know. I don't know how good these settings are, but I'm just gonna leave them as is right now. I'm gonna say they're surely not awful, but
Probably not. I don't really touch OBS all that often though, so I have no clue.
let's see. I was gonna paste like 3 different links I just saw on Twitter. Oh, okay. This.
Oh, okay.
Oh gosh. And then this one, which is less, I forget. Good stuff, I guess. Alright.
Good stuff.
Hi chat, I say to a chat that is likely completely empty.
Can they hear me too?
Yes. Warning, please check the video resolution because it's at 1280 by 960.
Oh no. What's that, non-standard?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe. It's standard for me because it's literally 2 times 480p. Gaming.
Gaming. On hardware. Oh, you have a capture card for this?
I do. I have a lot of dumb capture hardware, just in general. It's kind of hard to explain non-specific setup stuff, but it exists and works very well for what it's worth.
I see.
Actually, my number 1 complaint is that... Okay, so... For this, I don't bother to capture from an analog capture card. I capture from... Okay, so I upscale a little bit. That's me when I'm gaming. Okay. Let me remember. Okay. So I'm upscaling with the a video game upscaler thingy that's like literally a line doubler. And input is an S-video signal from the Nintendo 64. And it just outputs HDMI because that's what it does. So I'm capturing the HDMI, which for what it's worth is like not different from like it's barely different from what an analog capture would look like. What was I gonna say? Oh, The problem is fucking Elgato software sucks balls, and it's not in any way open source, and it's completely unsupported on Linux, except for a few open source re-implementations, which Elgato has like gone after in the past, and like the I think it was the author, the like one or a few authors of the only open source re-implementation of Elgato's software in Linux was they are no longer working on or maintaining the project, I think due to legal threat by Elgato, because they were re-implementing the drivers.
That's really disappointing, actually.
Yeah.
But if they're re-implementing it, how is that a problem? Because that's supposed to be
Because Elgato's balls, I don't know.
Because that's supposed to be reverse engineering, which is legal.
Corporations don't care about real law. They care about their own interests being protected, and they are 1,000 times more likely to be when they can just threaten legal action, because that immediately blows out of the water most projects that are people's hobby projects. But anyway. Alright. Time for gaming. Pretty much. Yeah, time for gaming. The delay shouldn't be too bad, but it might be about 30 seconds on maybe max, I don't know. I've mentioned Ethan before, how this game has a surprising amount of dithering. I mean, that's the N64 in general, though. You kind of don't realize that it has a lot of dithering. Especially... No, it's to have an illusionary increase of color depth on CRTs, because the dithering will be blended together on both on a CRT and from a lower quality signal standard like composite, where there's a lot of like noise and blending anyway. And you kind of see the pixelation from that in a high quality capture, and in certain emulators. The reason no one talks about it is because everyone plays either on like composite on CRT or on emulator, and most emulators don't go out of their way to re-implement dithering because there's not much reason. We have an extra friend.
It is Ethan.
Nice histogram. I genuinely like it a lot.
I genuinely don't. I don't know what's going on at the
Oh,
left there.
sorry. It's a very funny caption, though.
Today? What are you up to today?
Playing DK64. Where did I post a link? I posted it in the emails.
Yeah, I see there's a link in emails here.
Alright.
I will continue working on my histogram making machine that is that. Yeah.
Will you use that as an alternative to, like, Google Sheets? It would probably be better.
No! Not the slightest.
That's okay. Alright, fine. I don't know, whatever. Fuck. What am I doing?
Isn't that what we ask ourselves every day?
Yes. Oh, I opened the wrong save file anyway. Here, hold on. I'm gonna say game footage will cut out for a second.
I don't know.
Oh no.
You could watch the DK rap. We're not gonna. we're not gonna spend a lot of time watching the DK rap, dude.
What?
I'm adjusting my settings a little bit on my end. Alright, that'll be fine.
This sand lag is the worst. It is the absolute worst. Because the sand falls and breaks, then you don't have sand anymore. And you have to debug why your timings were a tick off and it caused the sand to break.
Let me, okay, make sure I'm not doing some weird widescreen stuff. I really wonder what aspect ratio the game is programmed for in widescreen. I can play one of these sessions in widescreen maybe to simulate what it would be, but Actually, it would entirely make sense to just be 16:9. This game was released probably in, well, I don't remember. Yeah, I really do not remember. Maybe 2000, maybe 1999. Rough guess. We'll have to see. I think they wouldn't bother with alternative aspect ratios for several more years. Given, I mean, that's just my prediction, but, you know, based on how shitty it is for just standards in general. I could go back to Jungle Japes as Tiny Kong. Actually, I will. Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh, that's why that blocked. Everything is just not breaking for 1 second, which is nice.
DK Donkey Kong.
Yeah, the DK portal looks really weird just on the seams because it's like 4 textures stitched together, or at least like 4 polygons. I don't know. I think it's using the 4 polygons to do squash and stretch on the portal. That might be what's happening. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter also. But you can see the seams are there because the N64 uses 3-point filtering instead of bilinear filtering for everything. Actually, I don't remember if it uses 3-point for everything. I think it might use 3-point for some and bilinear for some. I don't remember which is better in any given situation. But they are indeed different. That creates discrepancies, especially in more haphazard emulators.
Like the official hardware.
Dumb.
Actually, you know, has someone ported an N64 emulator yet to the N64?
No, and I don't think they will.
That's disappointing.
It's not that disappointing. It would run terribly and there would not be a point. Actually, it might be interesting to see someone... I wonder if someone could make like a PSP emulator for N64. Like running on N64 hardware, emulating PSP. I know that there's an N64 emulator running on PSP that already exists because they use like the same architecture.
Oh, they're both
really?
Or at least very similar. I don't know the technical details very well.
It is MIPS. It's actually surprising.
And the emulator struggles really hard for compatibility, but it exists, and when it has, I mean, it has like hacky compatibility, but when it has compatibility, it's usually at like pretty close to full speed, remarkably. But that's because it's just like a translation layer, etc.
So the PSP uses a MIPS R4000, while the N64 uses a MIPS variant of R4300i. I don't know about the differences between those. It's probably clock speed and instruction, like certain instructions existing. But yeah, that's mostly pretty good for
That sounds pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to get around to, just a separate topic, I'll have to get around to fixing my PSP sometime. The only problem with it is that it's unable to charge, I think probably because a voltage regulator went out. Voltage regulator went kaput. Less cinematic than that, but basically.
On topic, but Nintendo DS emulator for 3DS, absolutely 100% unnecessary, but
yeah, well, it was necessary at one point, and it does actually exist. It was because it was before Twilight Menu under the previous name TW Loader. It was before that project even started. Someone made a... Actually, it might have been... They might have existed around the same time, but it had horrible compatibility at the time. So someone, I forget the name, made a DS emulator, a port of Desmume. It ran pretty much awful. It did not run well.
I think that's really funny, because like there's firmware and the hardware compatibility to run actual DS games on the hardware.
Yeah, the problem was that...
You just do like a straightforward Desmume port that is not all designed for 3DS hardware, not, you know, I don't know what the right word is, but not modified specifically for it.
Yeah, they didn't do very much optimization, because that would have taken a lot of work for a project that was kind of pointless. Kind of pointless even at the time, because basically the only use case was like, if you really wanted to play a DS game from your SD card and didn't have a flash cart, because I mean, especially like a regular unhacked 3DS could play flash carts sometimes, like Nintendo tried to patch out. They tried to patch out support for a bunch of DS flash cards, and a hacked 3DS can undo that and re-enable a bunch of DS flash cards. So anyway, that's what that was for at the time. It sucked balls, dude.
How do they dismiss the flash card when it tries its best to pretend to be an official DS game? Does that mean that those official DS games can't be played?
Not 100% sure, and no, it doesn't. I don't remember. They don't... I mean, flashcards, some of them try slightly hard, but some of them kind of don't. I feel like... I don't know. I think it was... I think, at the very least, I heard of the Action Replay DS... Or, no, it was officially called, like, the Action Replay DSi. By the way, of course, the DSi already implemented stuff like this. That was, don't remember the word, like, navigated by developers, where the Action Replay basically took, like, the entire header of an existing ROM and just, like, copied it. And that was a slight copyright mess, I think. I don't remember the details, but you should definitely look into that if you're interested.
Also, what's a good cheap NES flash card that I can use? Because I have an NES, but I have like 2 games, and I don't want to buy real ones because they're really expensive.
Oh my god, dumb. You can buy like mediocre games and they're not too bad.
Well, I've only got Wheel of Fortune and baseball.
Oh my god. I might give you some as like a Christmas present or some like early Christmas, fucking whatever. Yeah, I think I have a few dupes anyway. At least one, I have at least like one dupe that's like an alternate Super Mario Brothers 1 like multi-cart.
That would be really appreciated, thank you. Because that's one of the games I wanted was
Super Mario.
Super Mario.
Mario 1.
Now the NES was my mom and aunt's, but they never really had many games for it. They only have 2.
Yeah, they must have bought it used at the time because obviously that's like...
Yeah, they come packed in with the one
Yeah.
game.
What do I do? Okay.
Josh, I really like the meta that's evolving the CPF Guide Introduce Yourself channel.
Oh yeah. Oh, I like your response. Yeah.
Yeah, no, have you heard of Moai Script?
I think you shared it once before in
I did. I sent some messages in here about my theoretical Klein that is larger than the size of the universe.
I need to finish my language.
That you do.
I do need to do that. I'm really close. Like, there's only like one known issue, which is regarding, of course, parsing is the most important part, but like the rest of the interpreter works fine.
Oh no, how did you break? Wait, what? How did... Oh, yeah, I look forward to coding in it once it's done. Which I forget what it's called.
It doesn't really have a name at the moment. I had a tentative name, which was like Stybark App Script, but that's a little long.
That's right, yeah.
It's supposed to be like a parody of Google Apps Script, the name, but
Yeah.
I fully expect that your parentheses keys will be worn out by the time you're done.
You could put like 90 in there as a reference to the parentheses keys.
Oh yeah.
As for an NES flash cart, I am not sure. You will have to look that up yourself. I mean, I'm sure there's
one, but it's really expensive.
I'm sure there's several options, but they might get a little bit into the slightly expensive territory. Sometimes there's not a lot you can do about that. But also, sometimes I'm very budget constrained and like $30 is a tough pill to swallow, so...
No, I hope that they stopped using official CEC chips, right? Because now they can reproduce them.
I mean, they don't reproduce the same chip. They, kind of, I think, well, they do something, but yeah, they don't need official chips harvested from other cartridges.
Yeah, because I believe that they figured out a while ago, and
yeah,
can use a
most
microcontroller.
yeah. Yes. Something like that. So that is basically a non-concern unless you're getting a flash card from like 2010
Oh
or
yeah. Well, I
something.
just don't want. I don't want to buy a flash card that promotes the destruction of older games.
Eh. Yeah, I mean, most flashcards wouldn't bother with that strategy anymore. Just, I'm assuming it would probably be cheaper to just print your
Oh
own
yeah. I mean,
microcontroller.
you can just get these things in bulk for like pennies per controller, versus having to buy a full another game and then manual parts it out.
If you guys ever do any complex redstone contraptions, I highly recommend using Carpet Mod. It has a lot of neat features that allow you to freeze and slow down and go tick by tick on the game, which is extremely helpful for debugging some of this stuff. Actually, some of the stuff I'm doing requires me to figure out sub-tick stuff, but there's no debugging for that, unfortunately.
Sounds
At one point, I was trying to make
really
16
hard.
triggers all happen in the right order within a single tick, but I eventually gave up on that.
I stray away from redstone, except like really simple stuff. When I was not younger, I mean like not too long ago, I did some level of map creation using command blocks, but that was the extent of it. It was always commands, no like weird redstone.
I honestly have not done all that much stuff with command blocks. I'm not as proficient in command blocks as I would like.
Well, I did all the command block stuff before the existence of data packs, which made it way easier. And
That
before
also has really changed things, yeah.
Oh yes, and it was also before the different types of command blocks. I was doing it when it was one type, and they
Yep.
weren't sequential. So there was of course, always the hi-hello test of determining which command block ran first, because of the way that the game determines which one to run based on coordinates.
Yep.
So if you had two of them powered off the same redstone block and you wanted something to run sequentially, you did the test to see, and then you put the one in the high and then the second one in the hello.
Yep. Yeah, well, that's actually a lot of the same stuff that I'm dealing with in terms of trying to get things ordered within the right point in red tape. Oh, actually, I forgot what my current evolution is. I do actually have all 16 triggers happening within the same tick at this point. At one point, I didn't. I spread it across 8 ticks because it was easier to line them up. But then I magically came across a configuration that got them all in the right order within one tick. So, yeah.
Dang.
But yeah, the block update order stuff you're talking about there is basically the same stuff as this. So yeah.
Hi, hello. Maybe you just need the same thing for subtick redstone.
Maybe so. Maybe I just need more high hellos. Although at this point, I'm done with that stuff. Now I just need sand to fall in the right place.
Yeah, and that can be a bit messy, I can tell you already.
You call it sand, however, it appears that you are using concrete powder.
Red concrete
Curious.
powder. That I am.
Do they still call that entity just falling sand?
I believe, or no,
I
they
believe
call it
so.
falling block now.
Oh,
Maybe
do
not.
they?
It might have been
That's
that.
possible.
I don't know.
'Cause,
Hey, yup, Minecraft falling block.
Nice.
Because I know that they also use it for anvils.
Yes, and
And
gravel
gravel.
and sand and concrete powder, obviously.
Any other form of
Yep.
falling block.
Yes, you can specify like anything, I think.
Yeah, you can even do water if you felt like it.
I don't think I've ever seen a water falling block.
Well, it can be done. I just don't think it's very common. But if you'd like to
Hmm.
not make a mess down the wall or something, and still want a source block, I don't think it'll propagate though, because you need to force an update on it first.
I don't know. It might update itself once it falls.
Oh, that's
I
true.
don't know
'cause
anything about it.
It's created, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not certain.
Yeah, they like to block update themselves when you create them, which is kind of a pain in the ass sometimes. Like when you would rather just have something not ever be block updated, but even commands won't help you, so you have to go in a third-party map editor.
I think you can set block and still have it be not updated, which is a command within the game.
Mhm.
I don't know what that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
If it,
I just am not. Yep. Doing a step walk gives you freestanding water.
all right,
Oh wait, was my game frozen? Yes, it was.
that could be part of it.
Yeah, yeah. If your game is not frozen, then it does update itself.
Darn.
Okay, now, what is going on here? Oh.
I can tell you right now, I should not be playing this much in just in Jungle Japes again,
Why is that?
because I don't know, I've already been here for forever, but I haven't been in here as Tiny Kong, so I'm getting all the crap.
All the purple bananas.
Yes. Where can I see? Oh, here we go. Totals. I have 2 banana fairies. I think that means there's 20 total, not 20 in this fucking level. Yeah, I think there's just 20 total. That would make sense.
The screenshots I took earlier and sent to this channel are gonna come in handy here because I did a little bit of accidentally sending a flying machine through my stuff and breaking it all. So,
Hmm.
You should consider encasing your stuff in bedrock.
I mean, obsidian would also work just as well, but
yes,
be marginally
broke
less
an
ugly.
obsidian block that I was like, huh, I wonder what that's doing there. It doesn't look like it's doing anything. And then I caught the flying machine running into it one block too late.
Yeah, you have to use the fucking furnaces.
I was actually using stained terracotta at one point in this, but I'm not using stained terracotta. Yes, okay, that's working again. Also, my problem with the weird left column seems to have disappeared. I don't know what I fixed it, or I don't know what fixed it, but I assume something I did fixed it.
I see too many images.
Hmm.
I'm trying to scroll through and find a picture of some code that I printed off on paper.
Archival mode.
Oh yeah, that.
You talked about font.
What server was that in?
I think it was mine. I found it. Found the image. This page left intentionally blank.
banana. Oh. Oh, step bro.
No.
So stupid. Okay, great. Where is it?
My hairbrush.
That too, I guess. Do you have a hairbrush?
No.
You're stupid, and I'm stupid for that.
It's a
Of course-
VeggieTales
of course.
song reference.
Damn. Fair. I've never
What?
seen VeggieTales. I think I have like 1 or 2 DVDs I actually got from like my mom's friend who is like old enough to be my grandmother. But she's cool. Anyway. I've only ever seen all the fucking VeggieTales YouTube poops, which are, just generally speaking, quite good in their own way.
I only watched VeggieTales when I was like really young, and it stopped after a while because it got repetitive. But I do
Yeah.
have a CD of songs.
What? Why is this piston not getting updated? All the other
Not
pistons
subscribed
are
to your
getting...
newsletter.
Yes. All the other pistons are set up exactly the same. They're getting updated just fine. I don't know what's wrong with this one.
Oh, you know what? The person that I gave this manual to, that I printed out, never actually returned the binder clip, which is not even mine. It's from my work.
Oh my god.
That's disappointing. I'll have to ask for it back. Just the clip. I don't care about the actual printout.
Oh my
It's
god.
outdated anyway. This is like round 5 of refactoring everything, this time in TypeScript, because it's gotten a little too complex to the point where I actually do need the IDE to tell me types of objects and such.
Nice.
So TypeScript good for that.
Yeah, I haven't actually done any TypeScript. I've heard
It's really
great things
just
about it.
JavaScript.
What did you say?
Truthfully, it's just JavaScript, except you can now specify types.
Yeah.
Those are even optional.
Yes, I understand the premise, but I've never actually done anything with it. Even though I hear that it's just, yeah, JavaScript, but better.
I wouldn't say better. It's just JavaScript and types, really. I mean, I could work with the web server without TypeScript, but it's much nicer to have.
Oh, that was for the web server code.
TypeScript. Well, I was
Joshy
also
HTTP.
yeah. I'm trying to think of a better name than that for this.
Yeah.
Something that doesn't include my name or an IE in it. Granted, I do have joshifu.com and GQ, but those are a little less
JQ,
professional.
best TLD.
Yeah, I actually paid for that one because Freenom tried to steal it from me, and I was like, absolutely not. I have emails tied to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freenom bad.
Freenom moment.
Yeah, Freenom stole Stybark.gq, which is the only reason I have Stybark.com. I would have been happy to just keep the free domain forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you told me about that. Did Ethan ever hear about that? Because it's slightly important.
Yep.
Okay.
It still shows up in my list of domains too. It says it's been closed for quote-unquote fraud, which I don't
Oh my
understand how it was, because they never sent me an email and I sent them emails about it. I even offered to pay for the domain, and they just never said anything, so I don't care. I just redirected all the traffic to the new one,
Ah, nice.
and I think it's largely forgotten, unless I bring it up. to this day, it remains impossible to re-register that domain. So I guess I win. No one can steal it.
Yeah, you can't re-steal it. I can't tell if, like... I can't tell if it's, like, having my eyes open too much, or, like, dehydration, or flashing lights, or weird inconsistent frame rates, but something about this game does not sit right with, like, my stomach.
I get motion sickness from a couple games, including... What's it called? Teardown? It's like the voxel-based game.
Yes,
Where you, like,
I've
you
seen
can
it.
destroy anything. It's fun, I have it. But I can't play it for longer than like 30 minutes because I get sick. Even though I turned off the motion blur and everything.
Yeah, motion blur in general kind of sucks, but...
It's just how they pan the camera, I think, is what gets me.
It's working.
Yeah, I really, really rarely get, like, motion sickness, and I can't even remember, like, what triggers my car sickness. But I don't get seasick, which is good because I used to sail a lot of boats in high school, and that would have sucked balls if I got seasick every time.
I do get seasick, and I also get car sick. I cannot look at my phone or even in the direction of down in a car.
That sucks.
I must be looking out.
Were you...
You'll just have to re-implement your eyes.
What was that?
Josh, didn't you sail too?
I only ever went to sea camp like once, and
Oh, okay.
I've been in a boat a couple times, but I don't own a boat or sail myself.
Yeah, no, for some reason I thought that was how Cameron met you, was through sailing.
4-H camp. And some other 4-H related events in the Delaware County.
I've met one or two people who I've kept up with
Delaware
through
County
sailing,
4-H.
but they're not in this Discord anyway. Yeah, they're generally more filthy casuals.
Ew.
I would say what 4-H club we're doing, but honestly I didn't really know any of the other 4-H clubs, so...
I was pretty well known within 4-H, just in terms of, I don't know, like rabbits was a pretty small amount of people that ever did anything. And also I got really involved with the Junior Fair Board in terms of doing technology stuff, which they still ask me to do stuff for them, and I still do. Like they've got that buyer display system, which is something I made. So 4-H is an auction at the end. We're selling off like livestock and such. And previously they just had a spreadsheet that they just memorized all the buyer numbers to and would go to that slide whenever they bid.
Oh, that's awful.
I built a different system, which would allow for you to just straight up type in the number on any computer that was connected to the system, and it would display on a projector. And you could all put in an infinite number of buyer numbers for when there were multi-bids, and it would display them all sequentially just forever, up until you would put something else in. And they liked that system a lot better, because it also allowed them to put in walk-in entries as well, because like people would walk in and register bidder numbers, and with the old system, it was not possible to get them in the slideshow. But with the new system, it is, and they can even get a logo in with a walk-in.
Nice. Yeah, I never did livestock, but I think the bars in our club presented rabbits. If you know the bars?
No.
Okay. I might be thinking of a different family. I mean, yeah, the bars did a lot of things. I'm not 100% certain. We definitely had some people who did rabbits. I'm just not certain if the bars were rabbits or not. But
okay, well, so
they did
I
a lot
was
of
well known,
things.
but I did not know a lot of people.
That's
it's really
fair.
only a one-way thing. But I stopped doing rabbits a long time ago. Like, I only did a couple years of rabbits and then decided it was not for me. We kept the rabbits, though. They actually made really good pets.
Did
Yeah,
you
not
eat them?
surprised. I know some people have rabbits as pets.
Okay, one of these is Gloomy Galleon and one of these is Frantic Factory.
Okay. I'm calling this a success.
Are you winning?
Sure. I'm going to ignore the fact that it is still going to break. Like, there are serious and fatal issues with it. But those only emerge like after you finished a full histogram. So like I'm not too worried about it, right?
Hmm.
It's really only on the resetting that has issues. And even then, like it mostly works. You just need to like refill a bunch of the sand or red concrete.
That's like me with like some code. You know, there's a bunch of errors that I'm supposed to be handling properly, but instead I just catch everything and then console log it and keep going, or I'll just restart the session or whatever.
Yeah, no, I made a note here that this project has really felt like coding, more so than any other Minecraft project I think I've worked on has. And yeah, it's just been a lot of the debugging and just living with imperfect systems kind of thing, handling edge cases. Yeah, but no, it's due tonight, so like I'm just gonna call it here. It's for a build competition.
I thought you had a class or something. Minecraft
No,
education.
that would be something.
That
But yeah, I
would
want to
indeed be something.
switch out to different resource pack and change some video settings to get my images for the submission. But maybe I should clean it up a little bit so that there's not random concrete powder on the ground.
Alright, I'm unlocking and
Entering my
entering.
pass failures.
I think this is probably Frantic Factory. No. This is Gloomy Galleon, I think. Honestly, I do not remember like which is which or anything like that.
Is the CPU clock on the N64 built into the CPU, or is it a external clock somewhere on the board?
No idea.
Oh.
No idea, unfortunately.
I was thinking, for no particular reason at all, maybe helpful with glitch finding, but some sort of like adjustable knob on the outside of the
Oh my
case of the
God.
N64 to adjust the clock rate of the CPU.
You
Going
could
all the way from
probably just like look up a project to overclock it and then use
oh no,
that
I don't
sort
want
of
to overclock it.
use that sort of knob to do the exact opposite and underclock it.
I see. Yeah.
But I have no idea. I kind of wish I knew more about the N64, but also it's just not that big a deal anyway. Yeah, I don't. And the N64 is just by itself complex. What am I?
Yes.
What in the world was I supposed to do there? Whatever, I give up. Also, this part has flashing lights, which is extra fun.
The lightning.
Very, very genuinely do not look at the screen for very long or very much.
Pokemon Band episode moment.
Or look at it on a small screen like my phone. But that I think I was playing in Frantic Factory, or I was going there last stream, and then I stopped because it was really late and the flashing lights were like, alright, this is not playing nice. Cool, great. Good good way to good note to end on is when we're fucking with our bodies with more than just alcohol.
The game itself prevents you from playing.
Lanky Kong is the lankiest of all Kongs.
Yeah. I think, yeah, the problem might have partially been my monitor. My fucking CRT monitor. I had set up the contrast to be kind of decently high, like for more vibrant colors, but with flashing lights that makes the effect so much worse. So much more unbearable. I don't remember where Frantic Factory is. I mean, it's gonna say this is gonna turn into another one of those me looking around saying where the fuck do I go for another 40 minutes, so I'll look up a walkthrough. Yeah. Oh yeah. You like that? Okay, don't hurt it, gosh. Okay. Cool, I guess. I'm gonna let Lanky Kong juggle real quick, but then I'll go. Alright, whatever. Dumb idiot.
Animal Crossing. Was it the N64 version or the GameCube one that included an emulator in it?
Don't remember. It might have been on the N64 version. I wouldn't be surprised. I know that this game has a way to play like Donkey Kong Arcade on it. I don't know / remember if that's emulating NES or arcade emulation. But I kind of I don't expect it to be a remake, but I don't actually know, so whatever. Where am I going? What direction am I going? This game sucks sometimes.
It was the GameCube version that had the emulator.
Ah.
To play NES games.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I mean, the N64, well, both the N64 and GameCube were reasonably powerful, but the N64 specifically was also... Okay, I guess I'm gonna do that with... What is... That has my face on it.
What?
Never mind. This game sucks balls. I don't... It was the N64 that... Oh yeah, Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 were able to play the Game Boy games, and they used emulation for that.
Oh, that's cool.
Software emulation.
Hardware.
Yeah, they used hardware emulation. Well, yeah, they used real hardware for both the Super Game Boy on Super Nintendo and the Game Boy Player on GameCube, which the Game Boy Player uh is a misnomer because it supported Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. But both of those were pretty much like a Game Boy and a Game Boy Advance respectively, just inside the cartridge.
Right. It's like how there's still a Game Boy inside the DS
Um,
in a form.
kind of. I don't remember, but I think there's no original Game Boy. I mean, I can guarantee you there's no compatibility with original Game Boy games on DS outside of emulation.
Oh, right. No, I meant the Advance. Because I thought they just straight up
Yeah.
crammed a second ARM CPU in there from the Game Boy, which happened to just run Wi-Fi when it was idling or something.
No, I don't know what the hardware is like exactly, but it exists.
Well, I remember distinctly that the DS, the DSi, and 3DS always have had two CPUs in it for backwards compatibility and doing
Yeah. Yeah.
Ethan, by the way, I've had a change of heart, and actually, when I've been refactoring everything, there are comments.
Oh, look at you.
There was
Oh my
also
God.
comments from the beginning in the programming language interpreter, or I guess scripting language. Sorry, if we would like to be technically correct, because it cannot be compiled.
You-
Which I
I was
thought
gonna
about
say
that.
you're not compiling this down to circuit. I don't know what level you'd compile it to, whatever.
I will only support uh, RISC-V and MIPS,
Yes.
and maybe AT-Tiny microcontrollers.
What
It's a
is
little more
that? I don't
practical
think I
now.
recognize that one.
That one's part of like Arduino's.
Oh, okay.
No, I did think about a compiler, but then I realized how absolutely atrocious that would be. I thought maybe I could like maybe convert it just to LLVM bytecode, but even that's just a problem. But if I could do that, then I could just let LLVM finish the compilation and link it for me to standard libraries and such. But I don't
This
really
is
want to do
true.
that. I also don't want to allow you to import C libraries and such, because that would be great and useful, but I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, that might create a few problems.
Man. I mean, I respect this game, but holy shit, this looks, I mean, terrible on so many levels right now. It's fucking, it could just completely black screen with flashes of pure fucking white. Why? Why? Jesus. This is why. This is why they fucking, like governments and shit put restrictions on this stuff for flashing light on, like, video games and TV shows. And also, just even if they didn't, it's in poor fucking taste because it hurts your eyes even if you're not epileptic.
All because of Donkey Kong.
It's not nearly all because of Donkey Kong, but it's not fucking helping, I can tell you that much. Okay, this is Frantic Factory. Good lord. Okay, what is this? It's not at all what I meant to do. Good talk. Oh, that's... Well, it's a Switch. Oh, fucking whatever. I give up. Alright. Oh my god.
Dang it! Why do I keep doing it?
Jesus.
I suppose I.
Yes. I keep hitting enter when I mean to hit the apostrophe.
Well, you got the apostrophe.
I mean, yes.
Here's a
I
cutscene
gotta think
full
about
of lore.
hitting backslash by accident when I hit enter.
Mm. I'll
Oh
just
my
copy
god.
over my description edit.
I really don't know what it is, but I feel fucking terribly sick. I feel ill physically. I mean, I'll keep playing for now because I'm still up for it, but holy shit. That's something the angry video game nerd would say, like your game has to be a different level of bad to make the player physically ill just by playing. Oh gosh. Oh, whatever. Also, I actually like this level's music, but it's not loud enough for me to hear right now, so that's gaming.
Gaming moment.
Why is it so dark? It's partly because my stupid monitor is, like, I set it incorrectly or something, but it's always like this somehow. Somehow always.
Somehow always.
Like, I really do appreciate and genuinely admire, like, this game has some pretty neat like lighting and color tricks for the N64. It uses vertex colors all over the place and even dynamically changes vertex colors in a few locations, but it's also I don't know what I'm gonna say. It's so dark sometimes. And so many flashing lights ruin everything. There you go. I hit the switch.
Ian, do you get why it's correct?
I had to look it, and I was like, wait, does that actually? Oh, it does.
Yes, it is lol.
Hey,
Okay.
Hi.
And that was the last we ever heard of him.
Yep.
okay, that's fine. That's just a minor fuck up on my end.
Root B.
That didn't actually. I think that didn't. Well, it might have. I might have just like removed all game audio from the past like 20 minutes, but you know what? I give up. It's okay. I actually was really not doing much for the past 20 minutes anyway.
Confused about what Pranav's note about.
Donkey Kong is going down the shaft. need a tag barrel. That's what they're called. I mean, that sounds really stupid when I say it, but it is the name for them, so.
Live out.
Why is it pitch black?
It's just the contrast on your N64.
Yeah, you just gotta turn up your monitor brightness.
It's when it's actually like the N64 doesn't have enough color depth. Like that is just a true pitch black if it looks like that. Brightness isn't gonna do shit.
Well,
Man.
yeah, well, it'll make it gray.
Yeah, it'll make it gray instead. Thank you. It's much appreciated.
Pitch gray.
Pitch blue.
Now I'm just imagining like blue asphalt.
Damn it.
People don't believe me that the color fluorescent brown exists, but it does.
I love that. I love fluorescent brown. I don't have any light bulbs like that in my house though. I should honestly get some. That's like a Technology Connections, that guy.
Yeah.
Actually, brown is his favorite color, fun fact.
It's not a bad color.
It is a great color. Fucking like 70s brown.
I want everything to be wood grain again. I actually genuinely have a wood green CRT in our basement that we used to use. It's black and
Nice.
white and everything.
Nice.
It is nice.
My friend gave me a CRT from like, actually from like 1956, I think. Maybe 65, I don't remember which. But it's a black and white CRT, of course. And it's got like the, it's red and it's got like the diner look to it, you know? You know, the like motor diner bar that is always referenced in like the 50s TV shows and shit. You're done, by the way. Okay, here's the tag barrel. Also, holy shit, I can't even begin to remember, like, what upgrades I'm supposed to get first, but luckily at this point I have so many of the banana coins for like every Kong that it won't actually matter. I need 15 banana coins for my special surprise. Okay, but also I have that many. Oh, banana medals. I mean, yes, that is different. But also okay. Okay. Totals. Okay, how many banana medals do I have? I have 8, which is a bit surprising, but that's for like collecting most or all bananas for a given Kong in a given level.
Someone should make a real-life cryptocurrency. Like, the blockchain is like cement blocks that are connected together by metal chain that's been like infused into the cement as part of the rebar, and like hammer chisel in transactions, and NFTs are absolutely FTs. They're just like Chuck E. Cheese coins or whatever.
Yeah, no monetary value directly.
Completely centralized.
And that's how they stay out of trouble with like the IRS.
There's only like
that.
one person in the world that has access to the blockchain because it's just so expensive to reproduce it.
You were here for our talk about Razor Coin, right?
Yeah, fungible tokens, and the sense that they get fungus.
Yes.
Fungus.
They accrue in value as they gain more mold.
By the way, you guys should look in the stream chat. There's a random person named ZT Vento Rizumpiu.
Got life.
Yeah,
Very pronounceable name.
they left a very nice message.
I wonder if that's a domain.
Okay, I love it when channels do in their about section, they post a link to, I don't know if that's a link just to their channel that I'm currently on. Like, if so, that's like double stupid, but
I have seen that before, yeah.
that happens surprisingly often. Okay, that is just back to their channel. Cool, awesome, done. So they're definitely spam. The only upload they have is from 1 month ago. And it's
To be fair,
some random shit, I guess. I don't know.
most people don't upload videos to YouTube. But...
That is true. I am most people. Gosh, now that I mentioned it in the stream and we made jokes about it, now I'm not allowed to delete the comment. It has to stay there forever. Here, I'll pin the message just in case. Oh no, that is a URL, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah, it redirected me to some spam porn site.
Oh lord. Okay. Good fucking lord. I'm not looking at porn right now, I'm looking at Donkey Kong.
Get your priorities
Should
straight.
have said before.
If it sent me to like Rule 34 website, I forget the name of.
Of Donkey Kong.
And then with like Donkey Kong pre-filled in the search bar, then I would have been okay with it, but
That honestly would have been so good.
but no, we can never have nice things. This game is kind of fun. I was about to say this game's fun. That's not entirely true. The player physics are certainly not the worst. Very far from the worst. But I would hesitate to call them good outright. For a 3D platformer, I think they're a little weak.
By the way,
There
I have
we
a
go.
question. Do you consider Cole's Cash a secondary currency that is centralized within the United States? Because I believe that Cole's is probably violating some
Oh,
laws by
God.
establishing what is essentially a second centralized currency.
That's not just some laws, that's the US Constitution there. Only Congress has the authority to mint currency.
I'm gonna say yes, just out of spite for the U.S. government.
Is that more out of spite for the government or for Coles?
Yeah, because if you're saying it as a currency, then you're saying that Cole's is in violation of the U.S. Constitution. And that Cole's Cash is unconstitutional.
Well, no, I'll say that I support them in violating the Constitution.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
So you do agree that Cole's Cash is a secondary currency, but that is okay.
I do say it's okay, I don't say it's legal. Oh my god. Yeah, there you go. Get your story straight, I guess. Anyways, here's Chunky Kong. He's mine now. He's a chunkster. Fun fact, his superpower is, he gets big. That's it. He's named Hunky Chunky. Of course, right now he's just regular Chunky. And honestly, I think maybe calling him just calling him Chunky Kong might be a little hurtful. Like, he's not... I mean, he might be... that might be muscle. I think that's kind of the point, is that it's largely muscle. Or just muscle. Not really fat. But, like, If it were to be fat, then I think that would be bad because like Chunky Kong is like a young guy. He's like a I don't know. He's like innocent. You can't be doing my boy Chunky like this.
How many Coles cash you got in the bank?
The Coal, the International Bank of Coals. Oh, here we go. I get to play stupid. Oh, wait, what? Where the fuck did that go? Oh, whatever. This game sucks.
So on the Coles Cash website, it says Coles Cash is not legal tender, and that's like the only disclaimer they have about. So I think you can just say, maybe you can just say it's not legal tender, and then it's not legal tender. You know, that's how you get out of all the laws.
So my counterfeit U.S. dollars are not legal tender.
Yes.
There might be something that says you have to print it on there, but it doesn't say like how small the text has to be. No, I just
There are
made that
very
up.
strict. There are very strict rules about what you have to do to make your money sufficiently different from U.S. tender.
So like, what about that? I got this book when I was younger. It was origami using the U.S. dollar, and it comes with fake cash. So I wonder if they actually have the all the necessary things.
Well, yeah, because like if they're sufficiently larger or smaller than a regular bill, that'll do it. Or if they're one-sided, that's also sufficient. And then also, okay, yeah, that would probably be it. And there's also things you can do to modify the design that makes it sufficiently different, but I don't remember what those are.
So if I print off regular $100 bills, but put mustaches on whoever was on there, is that sufficiently different?
I don't know. Maybe so.
I'm tempted to attempt to utilize Coles Cash as legal tender and see what they do, though.
Oh my
Are they gonna
god.
stop me? Can I buy
What
a
is
Nintendo 64 with Coles Cash?
I think it would turn more into like bartering territory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
I'm allowed to barter. I'll give you 15 Coles Cash for your Nintendo 64.
Oh my god. Actually, I mean 15 is probably way undercharging.
Yeah.
Like you're scamming them.
But $15 of Coles Cash is way more valuable than $15 US.
Shut up. It's literally worth $15.
It's basically equivalent to 0.01 Bobucks.
What?
Have you not seen those memes?
Oh, yeah.
It's like the Robux, but
Robux, Bobucks, whatever you're done.
1.01 Bobucks, and it's got like piles of cash or whatever.
I have not.
I have. Haha, I'm smart, I guess.
Excellent.
Oh, banana, dude. Oh, this needs to be turned, like this room needs to be turned on and it's turned off right now. That's something I remember.
It's like sending it in the maintenance room. You know, like 7 Bobucks.
This whole level is the maintenance room.
Beautiful.
Like, unironically.
True, it is. Have you guys heard about the grain bundle thing?
No.
Yes.
It's a bundle where you get 992 games and some other items for $10, and money goes to Ukrainian charities.
Oh, nice. What games are they?
992 games. I don't know how many, or I mean, which ones, but it's a lot.
There are
Do you want
many
me to
of
list
them.
all 919? No, I think there were actually a couple of games I recognized.
A couple
in there.
standout
And also,
titles.
like, there's 992 of them. There's bound to be like something that strikes here, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I wonder if it were like redistributing old like Ukrainian like Ukrainian programmed like shareware. That would be awesome. Just
That would
genuinely.
also be cool.
It is not, but like some major games like Celeste are in there even.
Oh, that's
Oh yeah, Celeste was in there.
that's interesting. That is actually a good deal, huh? Funny how that works out, I guess. Maybe I should
I'm
actually
sure you
buy
can
that.
go look
just
up
straight
the
up.
people who have found like the best things in the game. Apparently, it includes Super Hot and Towerfall Ascension as well as Celeste. Towerfall Ascension, I don't know anything about, but I have heard of. Oh, Baba Is You is in there. I can't want to play Baba Is You.
I have Baba Is You on the Switch, but I haven't finished it yet because it's too difficult.
It's gonna say on the Switch that's gonna be like $10 just by itself.
Correct.
I don't know. I'm a little short on cash at the moment anyway, but are there any good multiplayer games? I know this isn't about getting a good deal, but
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I haven't looked through the whole list yet.
That would be impressive if you had.
I have it memorized, actually.
The other day, so over the weekend there was Recon at Miami, which is like a basically there's like a super organization called the League of Geeks that oversees like all the geek organizations, and so once or twice a semester they'll hold these big events, and so Recon was one that we just had, and one of the things that they had was VR Club had their little VR session up, so had a few VR headsets, and I was playing Catane with some people, and then eventually they left. So then I just sat down and started speedrunning level 1, because I have it like half memorized, and to my surprise, I still mostly remembered what I had memorized. And yeah, then someone came up and was like, "Oh, if you're playing Catane, it's like a multiplayer." I was like, "Oh yeah, I know."
yeah.
But yeah, I still had it memorized, at least to some extent.
Hmm.
Alright, I officially bought the bundle. I downloaded a few games here. Oh dang, what's the difference between XNA and FNA? This game requires XNA redistributable 4.0.
Oh, XNA is it's like a Windows or Microsoft created game library.
Interesting.
Is it bad?
I wonder if I already have it installed.
It is it's something. I mean, it lets you, I believe, use .NET to create games if that's something you wanted to do.
It's not something anyone should ever want to do.
That's true.
Save 99%. That is funny. I was gonna say, one of these is just a book about Undertale. That's kind of a parody of itself. I mean, that's not what the book is. I mean, the fact that it's on here, but I can respect the hustle.
I see Towerfall Ascension is a 4-player local party game. Interesting.
Damn it, I already bought They Bleed Pixels on the Switch because I don't know. It's a half decent game. It's a 2D platformer. It's a game that exists.
I am truly waiting for the 1D platformer.
I think I've seen that.
Really? That's,
I forget how it worked, but I do think I've seen that.
0D? Can I get a platformer with just a point? Just a move.
Dumb.
How about 4D, but like real 4D, not just video game 4D? You have to travel through time to play the game, but like backwards to make it difficult.
Oh, here's I found a Game Jam submission. I don't think this is the one I saw, but there's one where it looks like, so you only move in one dimension, so you're a line, you're moving through a linear course, and like it looks like the barriers you need to like speed up or slow down to pass through them.
Right, I'm
So
gonna
it's kind of like
play
jumping but ducking, but also it changes your speed, I guess.
What's funny is that I owned the soundtrack to Celeste long before I actually bought the game. I got one of the, I bought the soundtrack from, I forget which website, and also got a physical copy on cassette tape.
Nice.
Yeah. But I need to fix my Walkman in order to play it because I don't want to damage the tape. Because right now the Walkman has a dying belt in it that like fluctuates the speed in a very bad way.
Yeah. It's like that sometimes.
Fortunately, Sony still produces the belt.
That's funny.
I kind of appreciate Sony because they still, at least in the sense of the Walkman, provide replacement parts and downloadable manuals online. Like they haven't removed the content like Microsoft does.
Yeah, a lot of companies do crap like that, where they remove.
Microsoft's one of the worst. Like they have a bunch of links that they link to in official support documents.
Mm-hmm.
You try to go there and it hasn't existed for like the last 16 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is it really that hard to keep it on your site for a little bit longer, or just forever? It's like a couple kilobytes.
Yeah, for real. Like, hosting every manual you've ever made would only take probably a handful of gigabytes at most, but they refuse. They go out of their way to delete them.
They do. It's like, you just have to forget about it. But you have to actually think about it.
I was gonna say, I could host that on, like, a Raspberry Pi in my house, and it would make more sense for me, but Microsoft, that's just too much. They couldn't afford it if they wanted to.
I wonder if it's just like some sysadmin trying to justify their existence by looking at, hey, look how much we cleaned up.
Yeah, honestly, probably. Which is a damn shame, but... eh. The internet world is stupid, so that's not really news.
When it's not a surprise when Microsoft does a bad thing.
Oh no, bro. I mean, some of... I don't know, I've just... From what I've heard and somewhat seen, some of their offerings on, like, the Xbox stuff is, like, half decent with regards to, respecting customers and like not taking advantage of them openly, as opposed to certain other companies like Nintendo specifically, which does that like all the time.
I still wouldn't buy an Xbox because all the games that I want to play, even the indie ones, are released on the Switch. But of course, Nintendo do bad thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not have much reason to buy a Xbox or PlayStation either.
Like, I don't play shooter games, which I know is not technically the majority of games on there, but it's what it's well known for. And
Yeah.
all the indie games, like I said.
Yeah, there's a lot of games on there that are AAA that are I think honestly you might be able to say most AAA games that are on PS4 and Xbox are like somewhat like more mature titles, and half of those at least are shooters in some sort.
Yeah, like that's just not the kind of game I enjoy.
No.
So like, there's no enticing first-party titles on these consoles for me.
I think honestly the most enticing thing for me would be backwards compatibility. And to be fair, both Sony and Microsoft don't completely suck dick with regards to backwards compatibility, but I don't know.
Meanwhile, Nintendo can't emulate their own consoles correctly, which they have the straight-up VHDL files for.
Yeah, they did a better job emulating like 20 years ago than they did
on the Wii or
Yeah.
the GameCube versus
on the
overpowered
GameCube.
Switch.
Legitimately. This is a gaming moment.
And the fact that they can maintain backwards compatibility of like 3 generations on the 3DS, going back to the DS. But of course, there's hardware support. But like, still,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hardware backwards compatibility is something you have to really still go out of your way to do too,
what was it, like
because
the
that's
PS2
more cost for every single unit you produce.
Was it the PS2 or the PS3 that had hardware backwards compatibility?
It was both.
Yeah, because I believe they contained actual hardware from previous generations too, right?
Yes. Yeah. I've looked into the PS2 a lot because I hacked mine probably a few months ago now. You can play PS1 games. It has the hardware capability. It's a little bit, it's slightly more complicated. Like specifically when it comes to USB loading, it is because the PS1 and PS2 hardware are a little bit isolated from each other, so it's not the easiest. But like you could play if you have a burned PS1 disc, you can pretty much play like 99% of them on PS2, just because of the hardware backwards compatibility that exists, etc. On the PS3, they did software backwards compatibility with PS1 games, and on some models, they had hardware compatibility with PS2. Both interesting. But I'm still, like, not that interested in getting a PS3. Anyway.
The PS3 was more interesting to me when it could run other OS, but then they removed that.
You can
Officially installed.
likely still hack it, but yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I don't care enough about the PS3, and I already have a PS2, which is backwards compatible with PS1. I'm playing a minigame and sucking at it, so that's fun. No, this game is actually... I can now, like, firsthand vouch for people that talk about this game's lag, because even just looking around right here, there's variable amounts of lag, and the speed of the spinning thing changes slightly depending on what angle you're looking at it.
Nice. Yeah, it really does.
It changes
That's not
probably
even
by about
slight.
25%. Yeah. And also just the hitboxes in general are a little sketchy to begin with in this particular, I'll call it a mini game still.
Oh no. Well, in the modern age, this would just be a microtransaction.
Stupid. Oh my god. Okay. I did it.
He's done it, everyone. The banana.
There's a banana fairy now. Yes, that is what that's called. Because of course it is. Hmm.
Man's really become small, though.
Yes. Yes, however, it is a woman. There's a, in later games, Tiny Kong gets a different model to be, like, old. Like, slightly older.
Why?
I don't know exactly. It's a little weird. What is happening?
What? Possessed Wanky Kong.
he inflates himself just like a balloon. That's in the DK rap.
Is that what he says?
Well, that's what the narrator says, for what it's worth.
No.
Bro. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Why the Mario not try to kill Donkey Kong, though? What happened? Why did they become best friends now?
No. We Gucci. I hate you. I've been playing more of my Game Boy Color recently. It's good, just generally speaking. One thing I always wish, it's unfortunate, but, you know, so you have, okay, oh my god. I need to stop talking for a second. I don't know. It might be time for me to take a short break or something. I don't know.
Understandable.
I also have not eaten dinner, so that's something. My lunch was small as always. Not that small, but consume.
This game has a Windows, Apple, and Android versions. Does that count as having Linux?
Meh.
Technically, I guess.
Oh, what's tell me more.
What do you mean tell you more?
Tell me more, I'm not aware.
Well, Android is Linux based.
Nice. Is there a lot of custom Android stuff so that like a Linux
Yeah.
system isn't able to just run Android apps without extra libraries and stuff?
Yes. It's really
That's correct.
just
Yes,
the kernel.
yeah.
Just the kernel is the Linux part. The rest of it's pretty much custom,
Mm-hmm.
but still mostly open source. As for like user space stuff, I guess some of it is borrowed depending on which ROM you're running, like
Mhm.
whether or not you want to include certain utilities.
Yeah.
Really only like development ROMs or like custom ROMs would include any standard Linux utilities and
Yeah.
libraries. But like the Linux kernel is mostly unmodified because there's been an ongoing project by Google to make it mainline kernel, so you could just compile the regular Linux kernel with no patches for a phone.
Yep.
One thing you might notice, it'll definitely show up in the capture, but it's more obvious on my screen right here, is that so Diddy Kong's hat is a bright red, and as is the nature of these sorts of signals, not only in the MPEG space, but also for composite and S-video, is that red will horizontally bleed a lot more than other colors.
I wonder why that is.
I don't remember exactly, but I also know that it affects the Wii U's virtual Wii mode, but that has separate problems of its own, such as like even if the Wii U is set specifically to 480i or 480p, it's still upscaling by like 1 or 2 pixels and ruining the whole image. But that's another story. Fun fact, I don't believe there's currently any homebrew solution for that, but people have talked a bit about it on GBA Temp. I think even as recently as the past year or so. But I'm not sure many people are... Well, one, I'm not sure many people are too aware of it, and two, the Wii U isn't even that great of a way to play Wii games to begin with. So it doesn't matter that much. I feel like for a lot of people, they would rather just stick with original Wii. Partly for homebrew software compatibility, but etc. Well,
What's up, you Razel mains?
yeah.
I don't
Joe.
know what that means, but what's up, y'all?
Me, currently awake.
Also me.
I need to do a few chores, but I'll be back in a sec.
Alright, bye, Craig.
Okay, are you two gonna be here for, I guess a while longer?
I can be.
I don't have anything else to do.
Okay, then you should be. I'm gonna go take a proper break. I actually have to go to the bathroom anyway, but I'm gonna go downstairs because I think my dad got Little Caesars pizza, and I don't eat Little Caesars very often, but it's respectable and cheap. It's certainly cheap.
I don't know if I've ever had Little Caesars.
It's hot and ready.
I might not. I don't think I personally would call it outright bad, but I think a lot of people say it's bad. It is cheap.
It's pizza.
If you want a good pizza place in Ohio, there's Borgata, which is great pizza. It's kind of on the expensive side.
I actually think I know of them.
I don't remember if there is like only one location or anything else. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, let's see. I wanted to save the game and go to the title screen.
It looks like they have 3 locations.
They're good pizza. Would recommend.
Interesting.
Alright, I'll let the title screen stuff play out if you're at all interested, but I'm gonna go.
Okay, I'll be
10 minutes.
back momentarily. I'm gonna get water to refill my bottle.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Also, I guess I'll leave this, so you guys will still be talking on stream for now, but whatever.
Time to say very offensive things that will cancel him.
If you say the N-word, at least don't use the hard R, okay? Jesus Christ.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, me neither. Not on stream anyway. I'm kidding. Alright, I'll be back.
Now rehydrate.
You have successfully rehydrated. What?
The Ukraine package they started. I'm curious how the scoring system works. It's very unclear. Maybe it's based off time or something?
I don't know. Mods are asleep.
Oh yeah, time is definitely something.
Mods are
There's a
asleep.
timer in the corner.
Discuss dismantling the U.S. government.
There's a timer in the corner. That means we can speedrun it.
Skybark speedrun.
Put a timer in the bottom right corner of Stybark and just let the speedrunners try and figure out what it is in each game.
It's supposed to count down till the end.
The end of Stybark.
I didn't say that. It's just counting down to the end.
Okay, it says points component to your score you get from in-game items, and there's also a time component.
Actually, I think I should arbitrarily assign scores to posts and like publicly post them, and let people try to figure out how that scoring system works.
And it's all just random.
Yeah, it's just gonna be random. And we'll see some leaderboard emerges or something. People start competing.
Yes. And of course, it shouldn't just be like uniform random because that's too obvious. You gotta make it some kind of distribution that looks potentially human. Have a lot of 7 out of 10s like you did with saw in your IMDb thing.
People just don't like to rate less than 7, I guess.
Well, no, there's been some like studies that when picking random numbers, people like tend towards prime numbers and things, and like 7 is one of the very popular ones. So maybe that has something to do with it.
But this is like review scores. Are people just picking random numbers for reviews?
Maybe. I don't know. I think there's something like psychologically appealing about 7. I don't know. Man, the music in this game is great. It's like at first it's just like average, right? And then there's like every once in a while there's a sound effect or something. It's like that's really off. Like I don't quite know what it is. It's not uniform, I guess.
Uneven sound.
It's not a good sound.
I had a lot of fun with JPEG audio. I kind of want to do something else strange with audio.
That was fun.
do that's obscure and interesting. Already compressed sound using the JPEG algorithm, which is one thing.
Figure a way to put sound into an SVG.
Yeah, maybe, because it's they've got animated SVGs actually.
That's all done with well, actually there's CSS and JS ways to do that.
I thought that it's just straight up it had animation support as well. Because I have
There might be a namespace that enables that.
I have
But no, like normally what you're seeing is actually CSS or JS that's embedded in the SVG that's animated. But it does look like there is MDN WebDocs has an SVG animate element, so I guess there is some built-in animation functionality.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, I've opened up my balancing Stackwork logo SVG, and it is just CSS. That's news to me. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, SVGs are actually rather complicated here. Like, have you seen SVG filters stuff?
No.
Yeah, the filters, I mean, they're kind of like raster image filters, but obviously they're vector, which makes the calculations for them surely extremely complicated, but...
Hi.
Hi.
Actually, I could do GIF plus A.
Oh my god.
Try
Maybe
that.
maybe don't.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
No, like I think I discussed this before. That there's those application blocks that exist within inside GIF that you can use, where it's like custom data can be embedded for application-specific things, but it won't be read by a typical GIF reader, so it's backwards compatible.
That's interesting.
JPEG,
I don't know if I've heard about that before.
I actually didn't know that GIF did that.
Yeah, GIF has that too. I know JPEG does it, but then that brings double meaning to JPEG audio.
We can't, be confusing our branch here.
No, of course. I think what's really funny is that GIF's meant to be like super compressed, and yet animated GIFs can be like 95% smaller if they're just MP4s. That's really funny. I don't know why.
I think
They
it's
were really good at a time.
yeah. Well, you can encode them as like the difference between frames, which is like half of what MPEG does, but that still doesn't even make them that small.
This is an MPEG free server though, so no MPEG allowed.
Dude, I cannot begin to describe how much I dislike MPEG, okay? I'm gonna continue my break for a little bit and eat this food, but I'll still talk.
I'm eating goldfish and drinking root beer.
Nice. I was drinking root beer. I've transitioned to cherry Dr. Pepper.
Living the life.
Ooh, something I just thought of is, one of my favorite video game tidbits of all time, maybe. Probably, it's really hard to, like, rank something like that, so honestly, I'm probably exaggerating, but anyway, I like it a lot. So, in Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, there's a certain, like, cutscene where it, basically, like, simulates, like, static, like you would see on an old CRT TV. You know, TV static. But it doesn't use like a video file for it. It calls RNG like 30,000 times a second to render.
Where is this again?
Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door.
What?
That game has been reverse engineered to the moon and back by
No kidding.
a small group of speedrunners and tassers. I will send a link to a good video.
Me when I task life.
Have you
Yeah.
found Ace in Life yet?
Hmm?
Have you found Ace in Life yet?
Oh, no, sorry. Oh, 1 second, let me fix this link. Better.
I couldn't hear anything for like the last 30 seconds. If you said anything important or funny, I didn't hear it.
Ethan asked if I found arbitrary code execution in real life.
Figure out what console Life is running so you can switch the
Hmm.
ROM out.
What
Dumb.
is light instruction set?
Yeah, what's the CPU architecture?
I feel like there's some good jokes to be had about Life's instruction set, but I can't come up with any at
Mm.
the moment.
Someone find the reset vector? Oh my god, that's horrible. I was gonna say that's like I think that's just like a chip thing, but I don't remember. There's reset instructions anyway.
What's it called when you like fluctuate the voltage in certain ways to get ICs to do weird things?
Hmm.
Can I do that to life? You know, like bypassing certain things.
Hmm.
When
I
life
don't
has region
know.
locked out.
Yeah, Life is region locked. I can't play Life in the middle of the ocean.
And I run homebrew in Userland.
I'm looking more for a kernel exploit, so that way I can soft mod the system. Soft modding life for God mode exploit.
Dumb.
Unlock the dev tools and the dev routes. Speedrunning life meet met God 100%.
Oh my god.
You're right.
No, everyone knows 100%. means you have to collect all unlockables that are measured in the pause menu. I'm sorry, all collectibles
Wait,
that
we
are...
have no pause.
Well... Crap.
You just haven't looked.
What?
Yeah, I haven't found the button on the controller, dude.
You tried to escape. You have to plug in some obscure, like, obscure keyboard controller.
It's like the PS3, you have to... Like, when you wake up, you have to have a USB key plugged in to enter development mode.
Has anyone managed to connect a PS2 keyboard to a PS2?
Dumb. Probably. I know for a fact that the PS2 had network capability with certain accessories. I wouldn't be surprised if it had some sort of, I guess, web browser, but I don't know.
That sounds atrocious.
Yeah. Actually, it's probably not, like, the worst. I don't know, whatever.
PS2 web browser?
It would be better than, like, N64.
True.
I don't remember if an N64 web browser exists.
Well, I mean,
It would be 64DD.
They managed to get Opera running on the DS. I'm sure it could be done on, like, the Game Boy. The Game Boy Advance.
I think someone's done something like that on the original Game Boy. I don't remember. Just in homebrew, I mean. Well, no, there was at least one, like, third-party Game Boy cartridge that allowed you to, like, check your email.
Oh, wait! No, there was an official PS2 web browser. Because there was a Linux kit that came with the Mozilla suite. That's right! I forgot about the Linux kit.
The weird hardware that has Mozilla attached to it is always guaranteed to be fun.
This isn't Firefox, this is pre-Firefox Mozilla suite.
Even better,
Like-
maybe? Question mark?
Even better, question mark, yes. I can't imagine what level of support had to be put into making that happen, because I believe at that point there was a lot of inline assemblies involved for performance reasons.
That makes sense.
That would have been a pain because it was optimized for x86, but then you had to port it to some obscure MIPS architecture again. Everything was MIPS based then.
When the imposter is MIPS. So dumb.
Why are all these architectures basing themselves as fictional rabbits, SMH?
Dumb.
But where's ARM for x86 in Super Mario 64, huh?
Now we're naming it after body parts. too.
Yeah, look at Mario's arm.
Risk sounds a little more fun. Risk V.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually named after Risk, the board game. So
What's the V stand for?
5.
yeah, it's like Mario 7 Granddad.
Oh,
7 is
yeah.
completely meaningless.
No, sorry, but the thing that you sent about the email on Game Boy, I recognize that
Mhm.
now from the thumbnail.
I was gonna say that doesn't work today. the mobile adapter GB is a good thing that existed. I forget whether it actually supported any kind of web browsing. It did support like stuff in like Pokemon Crystal. Here you go, 1 second. Oh no, I forgot to mention, I think this particular video might be emulating it. And then doing...
on the Game Boy Advance.
Hmm?
Maybe not. As far as I was looking to see if you can run Linux on the Game Boy Advance. It doesn't look like anyone's done it yet, but someone has done Unix 5 called GBA Unix.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know.
Unfortunately, the OpenBSD port was an April Fool's joke that didn't exist.
It's so sad. Like fucking Windows 98 for NES, which is like completely offline, and like it's I mean it's not like a port, it's like a remake, so it doesn't really have any advanced features. It's more like a proof of concept, but I don't know. I don't know the origin of that personally.
I like running actual genuine Windows 3.1, or no, sorry, just 3.0 on the Nintendo DS because there is an actual x86 emulator for the DS, but it only supports up to like a 286 emulation without a flash card.
Nice.
It's called DSX86.
Good name.
Sorry,
Yeah.
what?
DSX86.
No, but repeat what you said before that, like...
Oh, it's a full-on x86 emulator. Supports up to
Sure.
Intel 286 without a flash card. You can get 386 using some special Super 2 card, DS2 or whatever it is.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've heard of stuff like that before.
And in just the regular one, you can go all the way up to Windows 3.0 in non-enhanced mode. And if you have the flash card version, you can run actual 3.1 and I think a little bit later. Now I need one that like implements K and NX and all these new features and like 64-bit CPU and such, so I can run Windows 11 on unsupported hardware.
Oh no, you're not
TPM.
Yeah,
you're not implementing the security features. Oh no, bro. All right, I'm back to gaming. Well, almost. Actually, get my phone out again because this is what I use to monitor chat. Because any web browser is just a little too hardware intensive while I'm live streaming. I mean, my hardware is not awful, it's not good, but it is a laptop, but it's a half-decent laptop. It's only like a few years old.
I miss Internet Explorer because it was actually genuinely good to use for incredibly low-end browsing.
I mean, you can still use it. Every once in a while. What?
Not on Windows 11. It's gone.
Oh, well, yeah. That's why you stay on
You'll have
Windows 10.
I know Windows 10. Actually, they removed it from Windows 10 on the latest version too.
I might
Oh, really?
I might need to look into that.
I thought I put it up recently.
I might need to look into just Internet Explorer stuff in general and like keeping it alive, and I might I was gonna say, personally, I would be interested in finding like the executable and DLL files and stuff and just re-uploading them on archive.org. In a kind of yeah, I'm sure it already does exist. But I don't know. I mean, if there were anything like any projects that had like introduced better functionality to Internet Explorer to keep it alive longer, and like I don't know, or if there were any like exclusive versions that were like, this is the last version of IE compatible with Win98, then I would probably like to put all of those like in one big collection.
How,
But I don't know.
I wonder how Silverlight apps open these days.
Hopefully not, but some people are using them. But I wish they would open source Internet Explorer, because there is like a very small twinge of Internet Explorer still left in Legacy Edge.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the Edge HTML is a fork of Trident, which is the engine used in Internet Explorer, just with like all this legacy stuff removed and some better support added. And then Chakra Core, which is the open source version of the Chakra JavaScript engine, which is what they use in Internet Explorer and subsequently Edge, exists but is maybe rewritten, because it's not clear whether or not it's the same engine. It just might have the same name.
Say some of that again.
Oh, sorry.
Like what the original point is.
I wish that they would open source Internet Explorer.
Yes.
And like, in a sense, part of it maybe is if Chakra Core is still based off the original Chakra engine, JavaScript engine.
Oh, you mean some of it, like some of the leftover legacy code would currently be open source? Is Edge open source?
No. The only part of Edge that's open source is the JavaScript engine, which is called Chakra, and the open source version is called Chakra Core.
That's interesting.
But the legacy Edge, because Edge was replaced by Chrome not recently, and but legacy Edge Chakra shares the same name as the Internet Explorer JavaScript engine, which was also named Chakra. And I don't know if they just share a name or if they share any bit of code.
Yeah.
But really, I just like all of Internet Explorer to be open source.
Yeah.
Because it would be cool for someone to continue Internet Explorer.
the legacy.
Yeah, like if they added actual, like if they updated it to support the newest standards but kept all the legacy stuff.
I
Yeah.
don't think the world is ready for HTML5 IE.
But like, I have a single IP cam in my house that still needs Internet Explorer to function. Because it uses some like Flash, or not Flash. I think it was actually Silverlight. So it doesn't even work except on Internet Explorer.
Oh yeah, I still kind of want to try and learn Java bytecode.
Why?
No, you don't.
Well, I never like had any proper foray into like ASM or any real low-level languages, and Java bytecode is a interesting, obscure one that's also like the most versatile. So I guess I say obscure. It's like, I don't know. It's not one that people think of when they think about low-level languages.
Okay. I've mentioned it before, but I've learned a little bit of Game Boy assembly. I forget what language it is. Or sorry, no, I forget what CPU it is. I told Ethan I thought it might have been a Z80, but I don't remember if it was that or not.
Correct.
Correct, I guess.
It is a Z80, I believe.
Mhm.
Maybe not. It's some sharp CPU. I have to see if it's like equivalent to a Z80.
It's sort of equivalent to something, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, it's based on a modified 8080 and Z80. So it's like it shares a little bit from Intel and Z80.
And what company is the Z80 from then?
Zilog.
For some reason, I was thinking it was Motorola.
Motorola makes a 6800 or 68K, I mean,
That's probably what I was thinking of then.
which is also a really common microcontroller at the time.
Yeah, what do
Yep.
you know about the 68K?
It's
I
used in, I know for certain it's in the classic Macintosh computers.
I was gonna say I don't know anything about it. The only thing I know is that it's used in the Japanese computer of the same name, like the Sharp X68000. But that's kind of
Imagine if they didn't use the 6800
what that
in
is.
that.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they used like a slightly modified variant of it instead of the real thing, but that's how that goes, I guess.
If you really want interesting, actually, Ethan, your attempts to learn Java bytecode is justified because there is, or at least was, a Java hardware CPU produced by Sun Microsystems before they were bought by Oracle.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Don't think I've heard of that. Yeah. What is that?
the Sun Java CPU. The Java processor. It's a hardware implementation of the Java virtual machine.
That's like
Java.
very slightly
That
neat.
sounds like something you would find on like retro gaming things.
I mean, yeah. Java retro gaming, which there's not a lot of other than like phones, which we've already talked a little bit about.
The Java Station produced by Sun in conjunction with their Spark Station using the Spark architecture. The Java Station running Java applications.
No way, really.
Yeah.
That's not running .NET.
Someone should make a Java VM to run on the Java bytecode. That way it truly can be write once, run anywhere, including on Java.
I mean, yes, but
It's kind of unfortunate that DK64 boils down a lot to just like going back and forth with the 5 different characters and traversing the same map basically 5 times to collect everything. If you're going for like anywhere close to 100%, that is. Which I have no particular like reason to, but I don't know, I generally kind of I've talked before a little bit. I kind of just like collecting things in general, so that's something. So perhaps it's not as like perhaps it's not objectively bad, or at least not completely bad, but it is a sore weakness of this game, unfortunately. For as much as I have a amount of respect for it. I was thinking, I think the NES is probably like that CPU, I know it's a 6502 something something.
Also correct.
Is that like really different from Game Boy?
Yes.
Okay.
The 6502 is primarily in desktop consoles, is what it's really known for.
Mhm.
But it is.
By the way, here we go. Here's that Donkey Kong arcade game.
It's
I-
just an emulation.
You know what? Okay, you can play with the D-pad. Actually, it doesn't matter that much because original arcade had a joystick anyway. Obviously, it was a four-way gate joystick or eight-way.
I have a friend that has a physical copy, or not physical copy, like an actual arcade machine of this. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I don't remember what I have to do to like unlock something. I don't remember if I unlock something for this, but I'll see. I'll continue in just a minute.
Man, Skyling Dark Garden Defense is truly the Dark Souls of puzzle platformers. Stick on level 5 here. Also, for some reason, this game doesn't let you go full screen, which is probably because it's very low resolution, and that would make it more obvious.
I have a friend whose mom has an old arcade cabinet of, I think, either Centipede or Millipede. And I was at their house only once, so I didn't. I actually did get to look inside a little bit, but I didn't like touch anything because I didn't have permission. But I just DM'd them that maybe I'll come over sometime and look into trying to fix it up if it's not working. I don't know if it's working or not. I think it just wasn't plugged in. I mean, well, you obviously wouldn't have it plugged in like just sitting doing nothing because that's a hell of a lot of voltage.
Yeah. Oh no, my friend, she just has it plugged in all the time for some reason. But it's like its screen needs replaced. And when she bought it, it needed replaced because it's all worn out. But her way of activating it is opening the front of the case and then manually activating the coin slot because it still has it in.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you still need to quote unquote pay to play the game.
Yeah. Does the on that specific machine, does the CRT like turn on when you put a coin in, or is it left on all the time?
It's left on all the time.
I mean,
Suggested that you probably should turn it off, but
I mean, in a way, if it's already worn out enough, it's kind of. I wouldn't say outright that it's not worth saving, but because I don't say that about anything, but there's not really much to gain by preserving it better. Other than like your electric bill going up a little bit because CRTs are high voltage.
yes.
I'm actually good at Donkey Kong. This is partially because I played a lot of fucking Donkey Kong on the Atari 800 computers. Okay, this level is not in the original NES version. Just no reason. I think it's just kind of because they decided not to port it, but it obviously was in the arcade version. Oh, okay. Huh, okay, fair enough. Maybe I'm not that good. Whatever, shut up.
Probably better than me. I've barely played.
My name was registered. Okay. If you collect, I think it's if you collect all 20 banana fairies, then you unlock the DK arcade game from the main menu. Which is honestly a tiny bit of a pain in the ass / scam, but I mean, I wouldn't call it a scam, like, in a literal sense. It just feels that way slightly. And I wouldn't call it a literal scam because, you know, you're getting another game in your game. You get more game for your game.
Information systems technology.
Yeah, that's
Oh, sciences. Those systems.
I forgot about threads existing.
Yeah, I am in one server that uses them regularly. Okay, and probably in like 50 servers that I don't mind. Probably many that use them regularly, but there's one that I'm active in that uses them regularly to share like our wordles and things.
You know what Discord needs, actually, more than fucking threads or whatever the fuck feature they think of next? They need a better server organization that would be something akin to, like, organizing your apps on a iPhone or Android in, like, folders and shit. They do, but it's all, you know, it's just one column, which is a giant pain in the ass when you have 100 servers that you're in. And they do limit it to 100, but when you get Nitro, they remove the limit. So, like, they're expecting users to have more than 100 servers, and you're supposed to just navigate through one, just, like, scrolling column. That's insane.
They should allow you to arbitrarily expand into multiple columns.
Maybe not, but maybe, like, at the top or bottom, put a little 3-dot button that kind of gives you a screen where you just get, like, several columns, like, in a square formation.
Like if you've ever used the macOS Launchpad thing, where, like, it opens up an iOS-like app picker with folders.
Maybe something like that. I've never used that myself.
Some sort of server launcher. You could also just get good and use Control-K.
You're dumb.
I'm kidding. I never used Control-K.
What is Control-K anyway?
It's like that. It's like a search feature.
Oh, I've never heard of that in my life.
It like takes you to whatever server you want.
That sucks. Why is there not a button for that? They always do that. That was my number one complaint with, like, Blender, is that they have so many hotkeys, and they all should at least additionally be buttons. Especially, I mean, I guess someone like me in particular is like, I'm a more visually oriented person, so I might find more success in just using on-screen navigation anyway, but the fact that that's not an option is insane and ridiculous. And other people have complained about Blender, like them changing the hotkeys every few updates. Sometimes. I've heard that as a complaint at least once. I don't know very much about specific details, admittedly, but Hey, I can take pot shots at Blender. It's okay. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, now that I'm back to playing the game and trying to figure out where the fuck to go and what to do.
Imagine playing a game.
Imagine. I can't. I don't play games. It's so dumb. Just that I apologize. That was such a bad joke. There wasn't even a punchline. Or the only conceivable punchline was, haha, it's ironic because you actually do play video games, but just the possibility of a more advanced punchline existing was enough to make me laugh, so I stopped there and didn't think up or tell any further joke. What an idiot.
There's a My Games folder, isn't there? I always forget about that.
On Windows?
Yeah.
I kind of don't think so, but maybe.
Yeah, no, Documents My Games. It's,
Really?
I think, like XP or something. You
Oh.
just put games in there, so it's a holdover.
It's supposed to save your games from when like Windows Live Games existed. You could actually save like your current match in Solitaire
right.
or whatever.
Ah. Oh my. What is happening? Oh,
I
this
have
is going in a
currently
circle.
4 games that use that folder.
Is one of them Phineas and Ferb new inventions?
No, but one of them is Terraria.
I don't use the documents folder for documents, so I actually repurposed it as another program files for all my portable programs. It sounds dumb, and it is, but it's kind of smart.
I
Especially
use my documents folder for what's documents 465 things. I don't know what.
oh gosh, I end up using I end up using a lot of legacy software, just like Windows executables and stuff.
I mean, it's not nearly as bad as my downloads folder. My downloads folder has 1,351 items in it.
No, that's not good.
Nice. I clean out my downloads folder every now and then.
Organization is barely existent.
So I was thinking that I should make Styrock only accessible via incredibly obscure and undocumented hotkeys, and that.
Oh my god, shut up.
Except for that.
I hate you.
You need to make sure that some of the hotkeys include mouse buttons as well.
Yes.
Oh my god.
If I try to get real advanced, it could involve gesture navigation too.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Gesture navigation is so dumb.
Move the mouse in a C-like pattern.
I've never even begun to understood gesture navigation. Is that pretty much exclusively like for screen navigation, just via swiping and nothing else on mobile?
I believe so.
So, my mouse has some, proprietary shortcut software stuff, right? And one of the things that it supports is gesture-based shortcuts. And I have actually used them and found it to be really helpful because it allows me to pack in a lot more shortcuts into just a few button presses.
It's understandable.
And also, yeah, no, that's about it.
By that I mean it's not wrong for you to have that opinion, but so I respect you, but I don't really respect the practice of gesture navigation in general. But that's just me being an ass. So
I think like every 6 months, or no less, like maybe 3 months, I'll just randomly shuffle the combinations as well.
oh my god, shut up. You're just point for point saying what I said about Blender or whatever. That's not. I don't know. I need to. My delivery on that was really off. Not in a I'm upset about you stealing my joke, but like, I don't know. I guess Blender. I guess for some open source programs and like groups, they have a certain like golden standard for like program unusability that other programs aspire to.
Other programs can only aspire to the level of
Well, yeah,
stability
you know.
and usability.
Oh yeah, like corporate paid programs can only get so close to complete unusability of some other programs.
Oh no, Sibelius is nice and expensive, but it's still. Have you seen the video? I'm sure I've sent the video.
I've seen it. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen it.
The dev build of Windows that I'm on right now is really, really beating everything in unusability. Just right-clicking on the start menu will crash Explorer.
Oh my god.
And it's irrecoverable too, because it'll keep trying to relaunch and never will succeed. The only solution is to restart the computer.
That is impressive.
I mean,
I didn't know that. Obviously, dev builds. I didn't know that dev builds of Windows could get that unstable.
There was one dev build of Windows 10 I was on an old laptop that as soon as you would start up, Explorer would crash and keep relaunching, and I had to just kill Explorer to use the computer. And everything I did from that point on was from the task manager run prompt.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, some I don't know much about dev builds of Windows, but I've heard that some are notoriously unstable. Like any dev build of like Windows Longhorn, that's archived.
I mean, I generally had really good luck with dev builds of Windows, but I mean, there are some lemon builds like this one where it's questionable. But for the most part, I just get the new features and hardly have the issues. But ironically, my brother, who lives on only stable builds, has Windows occasionally just destroying the boot records for no reason on updates.
Oh my god.
And like it's unable to start, and he has to reinstall Windows because it's corrupted the entire registry.
Oh my god.
It's really bad. This is a stable Windows build on a Microsoft Surface product.
Yeah, wow. Very cool, Microsoft. Thank you.
It's super cool.
I'm gonna say, if this were an open source software, then that would be a solved problem probably 100 times over, but...
Speaking of open source problems, I don't know if you guys read my rant in Sever Neo at all about the Linux kernel and how I have to restart it sometime like 2 days from now because I use some software called Linux Containers, which allows me to make like what are essentially virtual computers on my server, except without virtualization at all. It like shares the Linux kernel amongst virtual computers for performance.
Amongst us.
Among us. But I have IPv6 addresses, like public ones assigned to these containers, so I can do hosting stuff. I don't have more than one IPv4, so I can't do that. And but there's a bug in the Linux kernel where when you shut down some of these VMs, no matter what, even if it's shut down properly, the Linux kernel may forget to count properly how many virtual IPv6 interfaces exist, and then will, from that point forward, after shutting down the VM, not allow you to start new ones ever until you restart the computer, and every 10 seconds print a warning message onto all active consoles, including non-root sessions, so that any SSH connection will have this every 10 seconds, playing the beep both on the hardware PC speaker in the server in my basement.
Oh my god.
On the consoles.
That's awful.
And like I said, you can't start new ones, so it's practically unusable until I restart it. And this happens like once every 5 times I shut down a VM. It's really bad. And this issue has been going on since like 2010, and every single time I look for a solution, it's always like, have you just tried this newer version of the kernel? You know, the patch is in like Linux 2.6. We're on 5.15 now or whatever. And every solution I find has always just been, oh, it's been patched in so-and-so newer version. and it doesn't seem like it's been patched.
Yeah, no.
But like, the only solution that anyone's ever found is restart the computer and arbitrarily try some new kernel version and hope that it's been fixed.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It really is great. Super useful.
What was I don't know.
This isn't obscure. This isn't obscure like dev build software either.
Mm-hmm.
This is supposed to be like
Yeah.
enterprise grade virtualization software.
Oh, I was gonna say, you definitely already know this, but you should, like, I don't know, talk to someone about that. I don't know exactly who you would talk. You would talk to Mr. Linux. No, I don't know. Open up
Get
a
Linus himself on the phone.
GitHub issue. I don't think Linux kernel is on GitHub. I think it's somewhere else.
It is a mirror. By
Oh.
the way.
Yeah.
That's not where you submit issues. You submit it on the mailing list.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it would
Okay.
help if I did, because this has been submitted to the mailing list over the span of many, many years, multiple times from 2010 onward.
Yeah, that's so odd. And maybe you should go on Twitter and harass some people until it gets fixed. Jesus. Well, I don't fucking know. That's how you have to get things done sometimes. Like, that's the only way you can get through to corporations.
Well,
Is
the
through
funny
their
thing is-
poor social media managers.
The funny thing is, Red Hat, the enterprise Linux, where people pay like
Mhm.
large amounts of money for enterprise support for running
Mhm.
Linux, also has no solution to this, and they're known for making their own kernel patches specifically
Mhm.
for their Linux builds.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's even solvable.
Hmm. Make your own fork of Linux with the solution.
Allow me to just re-implement all Linux system calls in my own custom kernel and full-on support for Linux containers, but nothing more.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah, add literally nothing except a single bug fix.
But I've re-implemented the entire thing, but it's binary compatible. So like,
Yes.
it's when you compile it without the patch, it is identical to the compiled version of the kernel. But it's not the same code.
I don't want to think about that anymore.
I think that's a funny concept. It's
It is
the
a funny
reverse engineering
concept. You're
projects
correct.
For like the Ocarina of Time reverse engineering, but for an already open source project.
Yes. Yeah, I won't mess with anything right now, but... Oh shit, I was not paying attention. You can actually pay attention to the stream now if you'd like.
Oh, I heard that. But it falls behind, so I don't really know what you're talking about.
Yeah, fair. Well, you can, like, click the, like, live button and catch back up.
That's true.
It's very deep and complex humor. You know, just repeated burping.
Requires at least 1,000 IQ to understand the jokes.
Yes.
Presented by Mikey Kong. privacy advocate, right?
Yes.
Great. So, I saw an ad recently.
Wait, did I get it or did I fuck up? Damn it.
I saw an ad recently on Instagram, I believe, about a website where I could willingly sell my personal information along with Instagram data to make money. Like, obscenely small amounts of money versus what they would be making selling it to advertisers.
Oh, really? So even they get a better deal on selling my personal information than I do? That's
And, like,
fucking
slogan was,
ridiculous.
take control of your data or whatever, finally get paid for all the data that they're selling on your behalf.
But you're getting like even fewer pennies and also, you know,
It's like fractions of a cent per piece of information you provide.
and also it's all this information that you don't fucking want sold to advertisers in the first place. So it's still like something that's completely I don't know, like a whatever. I am not trying to think too hard about that right now. About words and vocabulary. I'm usually half decent at vocabulary. I am just in general half decent at vocabulary, but my memory sucks a lot. So I very frequently forget words. And also I'm trying to focus on this stupid memory game.
Just watch your own live stream.
The problem with this memory game is that it's hitting the buttons. I mean, obviously, you know, this is a 3D platformer, so you hit the buttons like by hand, but it's just so slow. This is so drawn out. It really doesn't have to be this way. I don't know if I would, or if I will, have the energy to bother playing any SNES games today, so I probably won't do that. I was thinking about doing that, but eh.
But then he thought.
And then I thought, no. Well, that was just now. No, I don't know. I kind of want to... There are a few Game Boy games that I would almost prefer to play on SNES, and also, like, in some way I would prefer to play them, like, on stream, at least, like, talking to friends. Like I have a Mega Man Dr. Wily's Revenge on Game Boy, which is effectively an 8-bit Mega Man game with only 4 Robot Masters. And then probably Dr. Wily, I don't know, I haven't gotten that far, but...
It's because the lack of bits, you know?
Well, I think on the Game Boy it's probably just... Well, they could probably, like, do a bit better, but they probably didn't maybe
You're right,
care
they
enough or
could do
have enough resources, whatever dumb. But that I mean all old Mega Man games, but that game specifically is kind of hard.
Me with
Cool.
12-bit CPU. It's a real thing.
Sounds very fun. I don't have... I was just thinking, I intentionally deleted the Twitter app and, like, don't fucking use it. Oh my god, this... Okay, like... Why is it every 3D platformer just needs to make every level a massive fucking labyrinth? Can we just have, like, open space? Like, open space is fun. It doesn't need to be... Like it can be like a field with some hills. It doesn't need to be, like a fucking maze that you can never remember anything about, because there are... I mean, there are visual landmarks, but everything is so disconnected just because of hallways that you can never remember where. And
Consoles like this.
it's always so interconnected too, which is like, oh yeah, you know, you'd think that might be a good thing in theory, but it's not, because that means that there are zero like straightforward paths to anywhere. It's
Well, I
impossible
believe
to
on older consoles like this,
remember
it's,
anything. Yeah,
memory is restriction and all that.
yeah, memory. I mean, DK64 specifically has access to the memory expansion pack, so 8 megabytes instead of 4. But still a concern. I know that they use like loading points in the hallways for not for every individual room, but for certain rooms and like the large room. But I don't know.
What the Nintendo 64 is missing out on is a hard drive to do page files and swapping. So that way you can load bigger worlds at the cost of time and hard drive space.
Did I open up a banana? Did I open up a banana port anywhere? Also, those banana... sorry, they're the teleporters, but the official name is Banana Port. Which is beyond stupid, and unlike Banana Ferry, Banana Port just makes me feel stupid to say out loud. Like, I can deal with most other things in this game, and I'm not especially, like, you know, I'm smart enough, but I'm not like a scholar, and I certainly don't have a reputation to uphold for being smart, so it's zero concern. But Banana Port is just a little too far. It's a little bit too stupid. I don't know where these go, but I'm hoping one of them goes to... Okay, here we go. Cool. That is Banana Port number 2. That turns on the room.
Me when I port the banana.
This is a place for Tiny Kong to go in. And here I am. Except I'm not the right character, so I have to come back to this exact room twice more. I have to come back to this... I have to find this room again and come back 2 more times as 2 different characters. But also that means I have to go find a tag barrel, which actually was not hard, my bad. But sometimes it's a pain in the ass to find a place to switch characters. Sometimes you don't have ready access from everywhere, etc., etc., etc. And I think that switch... Okay. Okay. Never mind. That switch just opens up 2 door thingies. Doesn't do anything special beyond that, I guess. Somewhere there's gonna be a switcher button that turns on, like, the main, big, tall room. That gets a bunch of moving parts, like a TikTok clock style.
TikTok.
I hate you. Sometime I need to get around to going back to programming in assembly on Game Boy or Game Boy and or Game Boy Color.
How so? Like with arbitrary code execution and
No, I just mean making my own homebrew.
There is like a C compiler now and a bunch of libraries you could use.
There is, and there are, but I I don't know. I kind of just have my
Know
own
what real
concerns.
programmers do.
And I also have my own concerns about like speed and handwriting assembly code would be, I mean, generally speaking, it would be better for
I figured C could
optimization. C, yes. Actually, that's entirely fair. That C compiling optimization settings would probably do a better job of optimizing than I would anyway. So maybe I will go out of my way and learn C because I don't know C. But that would make more sense than trying to learn. I mean, I already know, like, I know enough about assembly, but the problem is that it's such a fucking chore to program.
Yes.
So I guess I always had respect for people who could program assembly in ROM hacks, but I have more appreciation given that it took me like a week to get like a menu like functioning and like printed on the screen.
All you just need for a menu, just ask the waitress.
Yep.
I will not dumb.
Even
That's a
maybe
bad pun even by my standards, and I like bad puns.
You got standards?
No.
Maybe I should make a compiler for my language to the Game Boy.
So maybe don't do that. Yeah, you can make a compiler from Java to the Game Boy. Make a JVM on Game Boy.
That sounds terrible, actually.
Yeah.
What was that? It just sounds terrible.
I'm
I'm tired. Craig,
yeah,
forgot my name for a second.
me too. Big time, whatever. I'm not sure what joke I was trying to go for by saying that, but that is a thing that came out of my mouth, so I guess that's that. I don't care. My favorite quote from fucking Code Ment, that's like Code GS abridged on YouTube, is like you're just saying words. It's always fun in context, man.
Oh,
My executions like that.
oh, you're not French.
Oui, oui.
What?
Your execution was bad. I was making a French joke about executions.
Sam.
Bazinga. Zooey mama.
Yoinky, sploinky.
Jinkies. Zoinks.
Wowie zowie.
Is this server at 11 p.m.?
Oh no,
It's
the
only
shame
11,
of being
we
beaten
realize
by
it's
a
fine.
monkey. Jesus Christ. This little
was
race
all
car
tired
is racist.
I don't know why, when you said beaten by a monkey, I was thinking Elden Ring.
Are there monkeys in Elden Ring?
I don't know, I don't think so.
Great.
Oh, have you guys played Magic recently?
No, I haven't been back to the gaming club. It's a little sad.
You want to play online sometime, Ethan?
Oh, I should get online.
Not online, like, what do you call it? Cockatrice.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd be down for some Cockatrice stuff.
We can do some right now if you want, but there's only 2 people.
I don't even know if I have any decks in the moment, but
I mean, it's really easy to get decks on. It's
That's
just a
true.
text file.
assuming I can probably find some decks somewhere.
I need to build one of my decks.
Yeah, no, I just have that one commander deck for me that I was playing around with.
Which one?
The $10 one?
$10 quote unquote, I think.
Yeah. It was called $10 at least.
Is it $10? I don't remember.
I think you said it was at one point, but the prices increased since.
I think it's because I threw in lands. Went up to 40 or something like that.
Oh, that could be.
Use the lands I threw in because
Lands.
I forgot to fix my mana base before I ran it. So I
Imagine
decided
having
to
a
throw it.
mana base.
On a serious note, I am slowly developing getting cards for a mana base. I got some
Nice.
slow fetches, I got a fetch, and I got some fancy unstable lands.
Oh, you're gonna say like I'm slowly developing dementia.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Let's go. I mean,
Let's
like,
go,
not in a
you
good way,
say.
but let's go in that I'm supportive. Whatever. Yeah, I'm
Dying here, man.
building up my dementia deck.
You play Magic?
Jesus Christ. Do I play Magic the Gathering in general?
You should, Cam.
In general, no. I have some experience.
You should play
Not
it. It's
very
fun.
much experience. Yeah.
This is peer pressure.
Well, peer pressure is not
This
gonna
is
work
peer
very well on me, so sorry, not sorry, I guess.
No, like, we're walking to a little pier and we're holding you over the pier.
Well, that's not gonna work either. Have you seen my... Whatever.
I'm now curious.
I don't need to make a depression joke at 11 p.m. It's okay.
Shit,
What was I gonna say?
Think of?
Haha! Man, that joke really gets me down. That was awful. That was
That
not even
was.
funny. Okay, shut up. Okay, I don't want to hear it from you, Craig, and I don't want to hear it
That
from
was
you,
not me.
Ethan.
That was not me who said that. That was
Ethan,
Ethan.
your bad puns are only slightly better. Jesus, that's cold.
Then yours or Craig?
Then Craig's. Okay, I'm
Why
sorry.
are you
I didn't
playing other
mean it
people's-
that much. Your
Why?
puns are okay. Both your puns are okay.
Why am I being blamed for other people's crimes?
Because
This is like
scapegoats
the
are
third
funny,
crime this
I
week.
guess. Yeah, that crime that you totally didn't commit. Me too. What is... whatever. Gamer
Oh, I got a
time.
new keyboard. I'm ordering a new keyboard, sorry.
What is it?
I'm gonna
That's-
send an Amazon link because I don't know much about that stuff. Where do I post it?
Does not matter.
You guys don't have a voice chat channel?
Oh my god. Do you think we need another text channel, first of all?
Well, why not?
Why? First of all, we have so many, and like, also just
Growing.
general, general chat works for like everything. Just,
That's what I just got.
Yeah, we're general.
without exception, is for everything. So, just
You're
put it in.
saying I can post my
Yeah.
shit posts on there?
Like,
I mean,
don't
that
be an
is
ass,
why we
perhaps,
made
but we do.
Facebook.
Sometimes I shitpost a lot more than I perhaps should, but
I don't know why.
that's okay
this
because
was
there's only like 5 active people in the server. So
This, for some reason, was a thing that came up when I searched up Minion or something like that in a gift search.
60%. Huh.
Yeah, I'm using it to replace I'm replacing my laptop with my iPad, so I'm remoting into my PC with my iPad, and I want a good keyboard and mouse along with it. All Bluetooth, so it's wireless and you pull them out.
Interesting.
I don't know why I need this to be
Oil
hot
slide.
swappable, but it was $5 more to get it hot swappable.
what?
Who would be $5 more to be hotspot?
Hot swappable with fucking what?
Just like what?
Why?
Yeah.
Swappable red switches.
Oh,
Oh.
the switches?
Yeah, the switches. Yeah.
Why would you need to hot swap the switches?
If it is only fair, or if it is only $5, then
quality
it would be-
switches.
yeah, it would be less of a pain in the ass to upgrade key switches in the future for what it's
People
worth.
upgrade keyboards like
Yeah.
computers, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, I get.
I
the
can
appeal of
understand
swap.
it, but it's just always out of my budget, so I don't even care. I can't even begin to care.
I don't think I've heard of Royal Clutch before. That's interesting.
Dude, this game sucks. Fuck!
I
So
I
tired.
accidentally ordered the blues. Fuck.
Mm.
What'd you mean to go for?
Red switches.
Well, now you can
Makes
hot
sense.
swap all of them out.
Yeah, no. I got a keyboard.
Yeah, sorry.
Corsair K60, and it was a really good deal, but I really don't like the switches, unfortunately, and they're not super easy to replace.
Hmm.
So maybe eventually I'll replace it, because like the lighting is really nice and the frame is really solid, feels good, and everything else about it I really like except for the switch.
I'm gonna call in tomorrow, see if I can get it swapped. Because I got it on a lightning deal, and I forgot to select the wrong one.
Possibly, excuse me if anyone cares enough to be mad. Mm.
I do now. Actually.
Yeah, sorry. Trouble.
Hmm?
But
Oh.
is
You could, like, email it. What? What do I do in here? Okay. I guess I'll try first one. 1, 3, 4, 2. Yeah, I will actually. You know. Okay. Getting somewhat familiar with Game Boy assembly was fun and all, but I will actually, now that I think about it, I will go ahead and just use program in C and then compile it
Lamau,
for Game
just
Boy.
buy a new Game Boy.
You should use Free Basic.
I will pass on like all of those for so
now.
many reasons. But
Go steal somebody else's Game Boy.
You should just do everything in Moai script.
Write a Quine on the Game Boy using Moai script.
I don't know how you do it, but use SQL somewhere. I'll put some hot sauce in there too.
that's a feature.
Where you put it, but some hot sauce in there. Spice it up.
Just get like fried chicken grease on the shell so it's perpetually dirty, but then you don't need to worry about washing your hands. Fucking so stupid. I was gonna say that's kind of what they did for there was a grease-proof controller. It was like an Xbox controller with like Fortnite branding, I think. I don't remember if it was Fortnite branding, but oh, banana. every individual golden banana. Some of these are getting so like complex and like I can't think of a good way to describe them, but like I think this game is a little too full of itself. It takes a little too much, like, openly taking advantage of your time and kind of wasting your time to not give you enough of value.
I'm so glad that they at least passed on the Golden Banana Challenge, where you had to solve all of the physics problems left that are unanswered before they would give you the banana.
Yeah, that would have been a hard one, I guess. Okay, what am I... Okay, I'm here again. Wow.
Ooh.
What?
Ooh. Even better Golden Banana Challenge, manually mining a Bitcoin block by hand. Hashing on paper.
Okay, long story. Those vines are supposed to be down currently. They go down when I, like, push down a Diddy Kong specific switch. And then you swing across the vines to go into this golden banana barrel for a little, like, mini game where you fucking... Yeah. Welcome to bonus stage! But it's in the press down position, but the vines are not there, so I can't actually go back to it, and I have to leave and re-enter the level. Good game moment.
I'm salty. That I really wanted the red switches. Now I have to see if they can switch them for me. I'm a fucking Dumbo.
Banana Porter.
Your mom's banana.
Got him.
You did get them.
Joseph Mother.
Did you just burp on my Christian server?
Yeah. I was in a Discord server for like a Christian video game news site for a while, just for no reason. I left recently. I don't know. Part of the reason I left is because and I am always like sometimes Drew is like a little too unrelenting and a little too careless about like fucking with people online, like random people on Roblox and stuff. I never fucked with them, and you know, upon further inspection, you know, they were a good community and good people and all that. So I did not fuck with them at all, and then I just left eventually.
Oh,
It's interesting.
about messing with people, I was spammed a invite link to this Christian server, right?
This is so hard!
So, I decided, hey, why the fuck not? You're spamming this shit. You want me in there, right? So I go in, and I decide, hey, this place seems toxic as fuck. I want to see how long it'll take me to get kicked. So, I start with a low ball. So I just went with, hey, they're not going to swing at this, right? They're not going to. They were talking about Jesus and shit like that, right? And how he's like amazing and all that.
The Jesus
And
lore.
I was talking about how Jesus is cool and all that, and I hit them with, not gonna lie, Jesus is kind of hot.
Oh my god.
I got fucking banned for saying that.
So dumb.
That was what I got banned for.
That's like the lowest. It's not even that bad.
Yeah.
It's like the low fucking bar. Like, I went without purposely knowing you're going this way, right? You fucking swing it right out of the fucking park.
Mm,
Am I wrong? No, Jesus is kind of hot.
He's typically ripped.
I'm not sure I'm at liberty to say.
I'm not gay, but
I didn't.
Jesus is
I
kinda
didn't
hot.
see. I've never seen him in person, I guess. As
Any
it
of the
were.
depictions of Jesus, kind of fucking hot. I mean, probably was a little.
Yeah,
gay. He was
espe-
hanging out with
especially
12 guys for, like,
especially
his whole
you know
life.
when he was a little kid.
Not when he was a little kid. He's fucking ancient.
God, I
Yeah.
hate this. Some of the mini games in Donkey Kong 64 get so fucking challenging for no reason. This is actually so hard. This is just actually so difficult. I can't even begin to get it. And like,
Can I report people?
where? In what? What?
Here?
Why?
I don't know. I just want to see if there's a report command.
Where did Ethan go? He left.
Yeah, he died. I don't know where he went.
What a dumb idiot, I guess.
Is no longer with us.
I don't even know what you mean, but also don't, because I'm really too lazy to deal with moderation bullshit.
Oh, there is none, because in the other
Oh.
server there was a thing that when you use /report, it mass pings all the staff.
Oh, Jesus. That's fun.
And yeah, they basically
Lord.
didn't realize it until they had to basically, yeah. I didn't do it. It was fun watching from the side. I wanted to see if it had it here, so I could report Ethan for being dumb.
When the dumb roll.
When the window, Lamau XD. No maidens.
Mm.
I am unfortunately going to have to cease existence.
Because you have no maidens?
Correct.
Lamau XD,
Lamau.
get good.
L plus ratio plus don't care.
W plus ratio.
GG.
Mm.
I guess I
Okay.
head out too.
Okay, see ya. Okay, see ya. Joshua and Greg.
It's just me in here. He
And
left.
Josh just left. Okay. Gaming.
See ya, Cameroon.
See ya. Sorry, I'm obvious. I know I'm just talking to this stream chat and VOD watchers that happen to get this far, but I'm in a sour mood because this is really hard. Or perhaps not hard in itself, but I am particularly bad at it, so why? They won't fucking go in the hole. They always go around the hole. You have to be perfectly in line between them and the hole for them to go in the hole. Why? Why? Why are the margins so small? Dude. I was gonna say, and this game fucking makes me question my own existence. Like, why the fuck would I waste my time playing this stupid fucking minigame for... Oh my god. Last stream I played a minigame like this. It was a race with Tiny Kong. I played that shit for fucking like an hour or 2 hours before I beat it. Like, why would I fucking waste my time like this? Fucking... I'm beside myself with resentment for this game and everything like it. Everything like this. That utterly... Look, I give this game the benefit of the doubt so much more than it deserves. And this game takes advantage of me every fucking time. This game is... so it has zero respect for my time. It wastes my time all the time. It's insane. It is so hard. You're right fucking there! Go in the hole! Dude.
Welcome to bonus stage.
I'm doing very slightly better every time, but it's still a fucking giant pain in the ass. Dude, I'm right fucking in front of you. Okay, wait, hold on. Why? What? How does this work? No, here. I'm exaggerating a little bit. I'm not that close to exasperated yet, but good lord. I'm dumbfounded by how much this minigame does not fucking make sense. Press A to jump, press B to scare them, that's it. That's it. They're, like, I think they're maybe a certain amount scared just by default, but you gotta try and guide them into the hole by, like, pressing, but you can't, like, obviously, like, there's a certain constant fear, but also, like, they're not constantly running from you as if you were pressing B every time. Like, if you press B every frame, this minigame would be very different, and probably at least a little harder. But it's kind of almost at that point to begin with, actually, just because of the fucking hole physics. But you don't... I'm realizing you don't need to press B a ton of times. Why do they not go in? Don't get it. I don't get it. I do not understand. Yeah, go into the fucking whatever. Can I just actually bite them? Can I just eat them and fucking vomit their remains into the hole? Will I still get points for that? Jesus Christ, this is... absurd. This is absurd. It's absurd that they want me to do this. You've got to be kidding me. Why? It took me like 20 seconds to get one fucking beaver in the hole. This is so hard!
Welcome to bonus stage.
It's so the problem is that it just does not make sense. That is such a consistent theme with this game, that the game logic is so, what's the word I'm looking for? It's so counterintuitive. This whole minigame works like you would have no idea, or if I had to play this blind, I would never succeed, because it is just because they don't follow, they don't walk, they don't react the way you might expect them to. They
Welcome to bonus stage.
Something is not adding up. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. He was against the fucking hole that whole time for a solid 5 seconds and didn't go in. Now why is that? I wonder if they prefer to go in at, maybe at the sides? No. Maybe they my theory was that maybe they prefer to go in at the corners. Oh, you know what? If that's true, then that means that this minigame is implemented in such a bad way that just does not, it just, like, it's on the verge of not fucking functioning at all. And I think that's genuinely really fucking impressive that you could fuck it up that badly. Yeah, I think they only go in at the corners. Or almost entirely just at the corners. So that's why it makes zero logical sense. Yeah, the problem is that they have AI which actively avoids going in the hole. So this whole minigame is about abusing their AI. And they will not go in the hole through the sides unless they, like, go in. It's almost like there's invisible wall. It's almost like there's 4 invisible walls on the cardinal directions of the holes. But they have openings at the corners, but also the invisible wall doesn't completely line up with the ending of the floor. So they can go inside past the invisible wall, but still be on the floor up here. So it can visually, they fall in the hole, but So visually, when they fall in the hole, they are coming from a cardinal direction. But they're past that AI invisible wall anyway. That would be my theory. Now, do forgive me because I haven't. For as disturbingly much as I do know about this game, that is just something I'm pulling out of my ass. I don't know if that's true or not. Based on empirical observation, it appears to be plausible, at least the way I describe it, but... Good lord.
Welcome to bonus stage.
I'm just chasing him in circles. I'm doing that to... Like, it's funny that there's 5 of them, because there is 0 possible way to get more than one in the hole. Unless you're, like, a TAS and you're manipulating the RNG anyway. This is fucking insane. This is ridiculous.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Welcome to bonus stage. Stupid fucking camera. Points down where I'm over the hole, even though I'm jumping over it and not falling in. Yeah. Fucking why? This is insane. The margin for error is so
Bonus stage.
incredibly small. This is genuinely... This is nuts. I fundamentally hate challenging games like this so much. Just challenging for no reason. It's all... There's not enough time left to do this anyway, but...
Welcome to bonus stage.
Really? Okay. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. Fucking why?
Welcome to bonus stage.
I don't know if it's better or not better that I don't currently have anyone in voice chat to suffer with me.
Welcome to bonus stage.
I don't fucking get it. I don't even begin to understand.
Welcome to bonus stage.
No, I think their AI does work. I think I'm correct in that their AI does work. Like there's an invisible wall at the cardinal directions. Maybe it's more like a point. Actually, it's not really a point. It's like at the cardinal directions. There's maybe like a point that's sort of like a cylinder going upwards. But also, I've seen evidence that that may be the case. But regardless, I think when they push each other, I think it can work a little better to actually get them in the fucking hole. Why is this? Here, can I just make an ass of myself for a second? Let me here. I'm dedicating myself to not actually trying this round. I have like one focus fever. Yeah, I take it all back. The N64 control state sucks balls. It's so hard to even demonstrate what I'm wanting or what I'm trying to do.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Beaver bother. You know what? I've had enough of this for now. I'm gonna be right back. Grab another controller and see how well that works for me. So 1 second. Alright. I have the... Let's see. Okay, I have the retro bit. I have no fucking idea what this is called. The Tribute 64, I guess. Which is a controller that exists. It's based on a old design by Hori that's obviously long since discontinued, unfortunately. But, and I'm guessing they use a different joystick, like tooling, compared to Hori. I don't know. I have no idea what Hori used. But I'm just assuming that it's the joystick itself is different. But it's a similar idea to like how the controller's a little more normal shaped and the joystick is different. Less prone to having a giant fucking dead zone. Which is really, like, unfortunate and a pain in the ass. So, you know, at the very least this makes it marginally less of a pain in the ass. There we go. Nice. That's good. Alright, fine. I guess I'll continue with this controller for a bit more and see how it fares. Okay, this is, I think, probably somewhat a good joystick in general. Actually, yeah. I don't think I like the C buttons as much. They are smaller. Ooh, they're actually quite a bit smaller. And that tends to not matter much. I feel like a lot of people would say that doesn't matter, and that's totally fair to say. But with how much you're going to be using the C buttons, I feel like that might be a major point. And it would, at the very at the very least, it's obviously a little bit different. You know, that is something that is not contested is that it's a little bit different. I actually don't really like the placement of the Z buttons. I think it's a little too cramped. I do actively appreciate them having a right-handed Z button. You know, a Z button that you press with your right index finger, as well as one that you press with your left index finger. But that's maybe the only positive about the Z button. It's too close to L and R, which are also perhaps a bit... Well, they're not only too small, but the controller is a little too small in general. But if you had to press L and R, you're pressing it with like the middle of your finger, not with the tip of your finger. If you wanted to press it with the tip of your finger, you would be killing your finger. You would be cramping your index finger like I do with Melee sometimes, and that's kind of insane. And it's the same deal with the Z button, which is why I don't like it, because it's too small for that. Well, it makes you do that, and it's too small. The one on the N64 controller, I think, is just right. I do like the control stick. It's very natural. I've heard people say that the four corners are a little bit odd, and that's or I mean they're off and odd. And that is to be expected with some N64 controller-like replicas, because the N64 used a more slightly square gate. It's not like it's not a perfect octagon, but yeah, etc. There we go. Here's the lever I didn't press because I thought I was supposed to press a special button, but I just had to press B. Oh my, okay. Thank you. Walk. Okay, yep, time for me to stop playing for now. Alright, well, I suppose goodbye, stream.